Hey! And welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. We're back to... We said goodbye to our special guest, Orla, last episode. We're back to the core four. Well, yeah. Back to the... Oh, no.
Four.
Where'd he go?
He's joined...
Viewers, there's a Wes loose.
Wes is going to join us later in the episode, probably part 2. He is stuck in time and space. He's a large man. He got trapped in a door. Which means that Community Corkboard, no Wes, we can't do it. But what we can do is, if you have something you want to shout out on Community Corkboard, do get in touch with the show. It's our sort of platform to shout out nerdy things that are happening around the world. Dublin's probably your best bet, but around the world, why not? Before we get started, it's going to be a lightning round because there's only 4 of us currently drinking. What are we drinking? Do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
I am drinking a Redmond's in collaboration with Dot Brewery, round trip barrel-aged Madeira Pale. It's 7.8%. And the reason I opened it was because everything else is cans, and I was like, well, I better open this and not ask for like a bottle opener during the show. But strap in. Episode 18. Things are getting wild.
Because you slightly gesturing for a bottle opener would have really disrupted things, whereas I like the idea of you getting smashed early on. That won't have any effect. No, it'll be grand.
Exactly. Gab, what do you...
I'm drinking something much less exciting. A hop house. It's what I had in my flat.
Which hop house? 12? 14?
No. Lucky enough, I got 13.
Oh,
yeah. I heard that there was a bad batch in 7. But and it's 15%.
People say that, but you need to barrel age it.
Yeah.
The house wasn't as hopping as they wanted it to be. It was too hopping for age.
13 years, right?
13 years. Yeah. It's vile.
It is skunked.
Moldy. Yeah.
Well, nice. Maybe you'll come across a hop house. Or someone called 13.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, that is a good name.
Yeah, hoping for some sort
She
of
was
rabbit
really
creature.
hot on house. So.
Keelan.
I am drinking a Lervig, another Lervig, Lucky Jack, grapefruit edition, apparently. Yeah, it's delicious. Grapefruit beer.
So it's 3.5, 4th edition, 5th edition, grapefruit edition.
4.7.
Oh!
4.7. So, standard.
Yeah.
I am drinking Cobra. Just lovely, tasty lager.
That's exotic for Lucy.
Right?
Yeah.
I've had my usual array of lagers, but none of them maybe are as mockable as usual. So, Cobra.
Learned.
That's kind of cool. Ooh,
Do you know the way they get it so smooth is they release a batch of Cobras into the vats and the Cobras swing around?
that explains the feeling in my throat.
And then to open the bottle, you grab a Cobra by the tail and just latch it on its teeth. It's a...
You can tell this guy works in advertising.
Cobras.
Did you think the Cobra's teeth are on their tails?
No, you grab the tail, but you whip it out like... Cobras are like worms, right? You cut them in half, 2 Cobras.
Yeah.
That's why they're so dangerous.
There's too many Cobras.
What do you think Indiana Jones hates?
Hydras.
Yeah.
A couple of announcements before we begin the show proper. A huge thanks to our partner, Dakota Irish. If you were looking for handcrafted dice trays, towers and vaults, incredible dice sets, you should check out dakotairish.com. And as a special thanks to you, the viewer, for supporting the show, for kind of getting us to 18 episodes and beyond, part of our partnership means you can get 10% off in the store. So when you're on dakotairish.com and you load up your cart full of amazing dice trays and you put in the code Homebrew Show, which is our Twitch channel, that was easy, right?
Yeah.
Homebrew Show, 10% off. So think about it like if you're getting a dice tray, 10% off, throw a set of dice in there. You're basically saving money.
Yeah.
Well, you are saving money. And you're spending it again on more things. So thank you so much, Dakota Irish, for doing that. I know there's going to be a bunch of orders around this table.
Yes.
Loads of emails. Just...
what's the name of our Twitch stream again?
Homebrew Show.
Oh.
Yeah. Homebrew Quest was available on YouTube, so we took that one.
Yeah.
Homebrew Show. Homebrew Quest is on Twitch. Don't know who they are. Maybe one day they'll...
Our mortal enemies.
Yeah. And of course, thank you to...
you just like
just
upsetting
using it
Ben,
to
don't
view.
you?
Yeah.
Just get those viewerships up. They're following us.
Did we want that? I took it. I've never logged in.
Huge thanks to Sirenscape for providing the soundtracks and music and sound effects you're listening to. If you need epic sounds for your epic games, go to sirenscape.com. You can download the soundboard. Real simple. And then obviously thanks to our technomancers either side of me running the video and the sound. you know, you don't have to have an Angus for Sirenscape. It just really helps. So, like we said, no community corkboard, but do get in touch with stuff you want to promote in the show. We are at Homebrew Quest across the usual social channels. rollforhomebrew@gmail.com is another place you can find us. We check that regularly. The inbox is often empty.
Keep on checking. Yeah,
but there hasn't been a Don't Be That Gygax award in a while, so do get in touch. I guaranteed we made loads of mistakes. Episode 17. So have a look back through that. As famed dungeon master Sir Bob Geldof once said, as you inch forward in this dusty corridor, too late you feel your foot catch on a small wire. It's a rat trap, Billy, and you've been caught. Wes normally gives me the props I need. Yeah. That one. I was surprised, well, aggro. I only know the Dustin version. What can I say? It's a better version of the song.
It is the better version. You can't say that about a lot of Dustin songs, but that one is.
Dustin's Rat Trap is
he
incredible.
has 3 brilliant albums. Possibly 4. I stopped buying them.
Fate of Our Feathers.
Unplugged.
Okay.
Poetry in Motion.
Yeah.
There is a 4th.
Is there?
I cannot think of it. He's in like a sparkly silver bomber jacket.
So no change then.
Yeah.
So no change there. And then, of course, it's Eurovision hit, which didn't get us into the Eurovision.
Irlande Doucement.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a homebrew Eurovision.
Maybe we'll get Dustin.
Maybe we'll get Dustin.
I can steal him.
If Dustin,
that would be an amazing guest.
Yes,
yeah. If he could play D&D.
Someone will be under the table the entire time. His handler. Now, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Episode 18. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. And imagine, if you will, a world where gods freely roam the earth, bestowing their ideals, their gifts upon the mortals around them, each representing an aspect of themselves that make up the foundations of reality. It's an age of discovery. We see Hibernia in all its prosperity, societies connected by physical roadways interweaving within themselves, and there are some who are able to travel from one side of the world to another in a single step. Knowledge, curiosity, arcane abilities rule this world. Giant temples are built in worship of Hibernia's 10 higher gods, and in doing so, their idols rise from this fertile ground and gain support amongst the common folks. Their powers come from the 10 true gods, drawing upon their divinity to grow in strength. Hibernia sees its first clerics and paladins. And at first the gods find this amusing. During their high councils, they discuss who has the largest following, who should take the throne of the gods to rule over Hibernia's people. They forge and create legendary items, bestow them upon their worshippers as true gifts from the gods. An axe to help map the underground is gifted to the dwarves, a sword that demands truth from its victims, a simple necklace which allows its wearer to speak to infernal beasts. But as with all growing civilizations, the ruling class of gods grow suspicious. What if those that worship them think to overthrow them? And it's too late when the gods realize that their mistakes, the gifts they bestowed upon their worshippers, all contained an essence of godhood. With that, the weapons could be used to slay the gods themselves. They didn't fear simple weapons, axes, swords, shields, but 4 treasures of the Tuatha De Danann would keep the gods restless at night: a spear, a sword, a stone, and a cauldron. You can just Wikipedia that later, they actually exist. Instead of risk all-out war and upheaval, the gods were left with no choice. They must ascend, distance themselves from the world below. The treasures could remain as relics and artifacts of a time past. The gods need fear no retribution. By simply removing themselves from the realms of existence completely, they could rule from afar like absentee deities. And so, stories such as this fell into history, into myth, into legend, stories that Hibernia now refer to as metaphorical fables. To say, of course, the gods once walked amongst us as they do walk among us today within our hearts. And that was then. But this is now. And as the river of history flows in one direction, we find ourselves rushing along the River Rockshore, which carves its way through the elven city of Draíocht, where 5 sexy adventurers are docked up in the city proper. It is also meant to be Arlington's recap. He is dodging so many bullets. So instead of foisting what was quite a lore and plot heavy episode last time. I literally dragged you into a room with NPC and was just like, here's the story, friends.
And even still, we tried to kind of, can we just avoid it? You know?
How about we don't do that?
Yeah.
So
And
I
you
will
kill
do
us.
a very quick recap. If anything, go... Episode 17 is a great way to just get up to speed with kind of what's happening. All the episodes are, but
That's
like...
what we did.
Yeah. It's like, what were we doing? I mean, we drink, so we have to rewatch the nonsense we spew off the cuff. I don't even wear cuffs anymore. That's how much they're off.
That was good. I didn't get that. Yeah.
And it was, that one was off the cuff too, so I'm so proud.
It showed. It
better.
showed.
Yeah.
Thanks. You can use that at home in your games. The party were all prisoners on an
We're
orc
just
pirate ship.
suggesting jokes to people.
That's one you can tell your kids. That's one even the kids can laugh at. It's a family-friendly joke.
See how good the reaction was? You can use that at home.
That's one for the books. It will be on DM's Guild as part of jokes you can use at the table. 99 cents. Or pay what you want. I'm just stalling for the recap. So, the party were held captive by the orc pirates amongst the ship, the Atlantean Son of the Sea, ruled by Captain Fresh Prince of Kildare, who invited them to a dinner to sort of suss out who the party were, what were they up to. Fair to say, she might have got the wrong end of the stick and vastly overestimated the party's ability, thus claiming them responsible for completely devastating the Galway Bay Shipping Company and ruining sea trade in Hibernia.
It's never been proven that we didn't do that.
It's true, yeah. By sheer fact of being the only players at the table,
Yeah.
you are responsible. Mere existing moves the plot
Right,
forward.
the butterfly effect of us is,
Yeah.
yes.
We have been suspiciously near some of the ships going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the city where murder attempts were made on high-ranking stakeholders.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
I'm an adventurer. I might cause some murders. I might be responsible for...
Gotta break a few eggs.
Yeah, exactly. And in learning the party skills, sort of co-opted them through coin and sort of this working relationship to travel into the city of Draíocht on behalf of the Fresh Prince of Kildare to suss out as much as the party can about this mysterious mysterious contact called Rua, who seems to be somewhat behind a lot of the contracts that the orc pirates have received. Upon sailing away from Atlantean, Son of the Sea, in Phelim's Fate, which is Caoil, the fisherman monk, her boat, the party came upon Draíocht and paid the customary fees to dock the boat. Upon which, Hook, a sort of desperate pain
Yeah, I mean...
came upon you. As you stepped into the city away from the docks, you heard the curse that you've only ever heard once in your life before.
Yeah.
Twice. 2 people in the same week. Ugh.
This is news to me.
The curse you heard once before in your life. And
Says you.
you took... Yeah, true, actually. Yeah, I don't know. How many times?
No, just
Roll a...
possibly the once. Or
one.
never.
Yeah.
Never. Oh, roll a one.
No, I did it for you.
Ah, cool.
Which sort of leads us up to where we are now.
Yeah, because you took 25 psychic damage.
Oh, yeah, I'm
right?
almost dead.
Yeah.
you're fine.
And as this terrible pain wreaks havoc inside your head, instinctively you feel your mind reaches out to grasp control of the situation.
I was gonna ask if I could roll to. Yeah, I was gonna try to shake it off and look cool and like ignore how painful it was. But I
Yeah,
need
roll
to
a Constitution check.
Cool. 1 second, because I can't see my own stats. Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
Let me check. The one time I needed that good roll, I needed it probably for something not this.
Yeah, the thing is, if I saw that you were in pain, I might have healed you in some way. That would.
Yeah, no. I mean, I want to look cool.
Okay, yeah, that
Or at
does sound
least
like
shrug
help.
off the pain. And you're saying con.
Yeah, con save.
Perfect. Then 21.
21.
Nice.
You look cool. Like,
Right.
yeah, you look great. It looks like you
still
just
hold my
take a
hand.
knee in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
city
yeah.
of Draíocht and you're like, this city. And it looks like you're having this inner monologue of like adventurous fortitude.
Cool, I am having an inner monologue, so.
Yeah, the pain does worsen. And as you kind of grip down in this power pose, it threatens to overwhelm you completely. It threatens to sort of, you feel your insides begin to unravel at your very essence.
That's gross.
There is a solution somewhat within your grasp as the threads of arcane fabric burn within your vision. Tugging that thread offers a blanket of protection. And you begin to pull it just because the pain is so severe, it's almost instinctively. You're like, that is how I can help myself. And as you feel the threads of reality bind around you, in a split second, the pain stops. And in that moment, you see that every action has an equal reaction. A tear in reality warps itself around Caoil.
That could have been anyone's fault.
Colourful wildflowers bursting forth from this rip surround her, and Caoil notices too late and softly mutters, "Oh, fuck," before completely disappearing. I don't have anything prepared for Wes in Arlington, so he's just mute. Whoa! That's shocking.
Oh my god.
I am speechless. As he pulls up his bandana of disguise. And yeah, Caoil has just disappeared before your eyes. It's like this sort of wildflower bush just kind of ripped around her and then just disappeared. And these petals just sort of float to the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, what the Caoil! I think I had blood curdling Caoil.
Caoil!
Did you mean to do that? What was that?
I feel like my eyes probably be closed.
You actually, you've all leveled up. So
yeah.
let's just
Caoil! Oh, never mind. I can perform.
So let's do some quick hit point dice rolling before we get into that scene.
Alrighty, really.
Which will, just for the sake of video game logic, heal you.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? Maybe just heal by the hit point.
By whatever I
Yeah.
by my bonus health.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rin, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
Nice.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
So great. Something about this peaceful, beautiful city and that goddamn fisherman being taken out of the situation makes you feel right as rain. Or right as rain.
Deception, performance, or thieves' tools. I get expertise, which doubles my proficiency for the skills that I chose at the start. So I already have double proficiency in acrobatics and stealth. Now I get deception, performance, or thieves' tools. How useful are thieves' tools?
They are useful, but I don't think the app you're using counts. I don't think it adds to your sleight of hand check. Because it would give you a +6 or +8.
But I think thieves' tools are separate to sleight of hand. Like when you're using thieves' tools,
you do a thieves' tools check.
You do a thieves' tools check,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty useful. Getting into locks and stuff.
Yeah. Deception, performance. I like the idea of deception and performance, so I'm going for those. And it's an 8. So I am a beefy boy, which is helpful because Rian is an up close and personal fighter while also being a very squishy.
I like the fact that deception and performance are somewhat, interweaved. Like performance, but your true self.
Yeah.
Or the mask which you put upon yourself.
Yeah.
Acting is reacting.
Acting is reacting.
It's becoming. It's reenacting.
Yeah.
Acting is
reenacting's different.
leaving everything behind and becoming something new.
What did you get?
I get to bend luck now. So it's kind of like a bard skill, I think, where I get to roll a dice, but I can do it after the dice has been rolled. The opposing dice has been rolled. I can roll a dice, and I think it's a d4, and either add or subtract to that.
Nice.
For either
Yeah.
enemies or allies. So once they've rolled, I can decide it.
You're like, I'm just going to tip it in this favor or that
Yeah,
favor.
yeah.
And
So
then
I'm
hit
just- I'm
point
just-
wise?
Hit point wise, I got a 5, which translates into 6 more health.
Nice.
Yeah.
Constitution +1.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Iggy, how did you get on?
I got got a 6. Rolled
Cool.
6. That's
Yeah.
better than last time. I think I got like a 1.
Well, you rolled 3 of the
I went,
dice.
yeah, and still added up to barely anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get 2 spells from another class, and I also get counter charm as well.
Counter charm's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I should be able to protect us some from mind altering
From my
scenarios.
charms.
Yes. I find myself quite immune.
Yeah.
But sure.
Okay. Great. Sorry. And we're back in. Caoil has disappeared. You feel right as rain.
Caoil! Oh my god, I feel amazing, but terrible.
Can I see? Was anything left behind? Can I jump
Just
to see?
some petals.
Can I just? I'm gonna grab those petals and I'm just looking into the air and going, what the fuck?
Yeah, magic, right? There's a pro tip for any DMs out there. If a player can't make it, magic them away.
Do you think she meant to do that?
If she did, it was really cool. I'm not going to lie, but I don't think so. Can I do perception check or anything just to look around and see if I can see her? That is very good. That is a 21.
21. You cannot, not only do you not see her, but a couple of seagulls above are like, quail, quail, quail. So well, even they can't see her.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense, what you just said.
Wait,
yeah.
Are they looking for her?
You don't know the business of seagulls.
Good point.
Correct.
Right.
Maybe they always have been.
Yeah. She's nowhere. I can't see her.
Yeah.
I've
You
looked
know,
everywhere.
Emphatically, she is nowhere to be found.
Okay.
That may have been me. I didn't ken. Sure, there was this laddie talking in my ear there when I stood on the land, and you see the way I went down to my knee. I was looking pretty cool, but it hurt a hell of a lot. And I tried to use me wild magic, as is my right, and Caoil's no longer here. But the pain's gone, so it's a fair trade.
Who was this? Who was
What did it say?
talking to you? What did they say?
Well, he sounded nice. He sounded like me, but he was saying mean stuff. Something about I shouldn't have come here, and he made me promise, and I did. Do I actually know?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean,
what
if
do
you're
you mean?
having more fun just being like, I wasn't paying attention.
No. I know. I know what was said, but
Yeah.
do I actually have I heard it
right?
before? Does it mean anything to me?
Once before.
Because it obviously slipped my mind before I went into this thing.
Yeah. Roll. You don't have to roll for this. It is such a life-defining moment that it's like those were the. It's rare that you forget when someone, like, the specific words someone curses you with. Like, maybe I should pay attention to them.
You say it's rare. I did forget.
And you've been trying to get here since.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing.
You have a very singular situation in which you've forgotten the very curse.
Draíocht's playing hard to get, and it's just making you water more.
That's why I've been continuously being like, I am against Draíocht.
The exact phrase was, curses upon you hook, for a wee promise you did make, and you dinna ken how to break it. So you may never step foot in the lands of those who can cure you of this fey-touched curse. For if you do, a wicked pain will be delivered unto you. And that wicked pain was 25 points of psychic damage.
Yeah. Aye, that was the pain. Maybe it'll go away now.
It is gone. It was like a once-off, bam.
It's gone?
The pain.
I don't. Oh, yeah, the pain.
Yeah,
Right.
you're not currently in pain.
Right.
Unless you want to be.
Aye.
Because you're in
no.
it.
So have you relayed this to us, or is this?
Yeah, I suppose. There was a lad. He sounded like a halfling like me, and apparently I shouldn't have come here, and I promised that I wouldn't. I think I've forgotten that I was under a geese. And I shouldn't have come here because they could have cured me of the geese, apparently. And I got hurt a hell of a lot in the old head there, in the old head job.
What's a geese? And what happened the last time you were here?
Well, a geese is you didn't ken a geese. It's like a gosling, but or a gander.
And what's
it's-
good for it?
Yeah. It's a promise, a kind of sacred promise that I made with some lad. We didn't need to talk about that. And apparently I promised not to come here or where anyone could help me, which is a weird promise now that I think about
It's
it.
a very strange promise.
And it
Who
hurt-
was this person, and how did he have the power to curse you?
I didn't know full well who he was.
I brought a puka.
Okay. Well then, grand.
Yeah, White Hag, the puka.
I encountered a puka once upon a time. You know the way I can cast magic,
I'm aware.
and it's not a thing that halflings normally do.
Yes, I know.
Well, you see, after I met the puka, I started being able to cast the old magic, but I'm pretty good now. You might not have noticed, but I do lose control every once in a while.
Part of your charm.
Earlier days there, I was losing some control.
Right.
All sorts of things. Turning blue, turning people into sheep, setting fire to things, although that might
have
not have been
seen
as
you
much
do
an
that.
accident. And he made me promise not to break this curse, I guess.
So you trade. This was a trade. You got these magic powers.
Well, to be honest, he gave me the magic powers, but it's not like I asked for them, and
someone
it
here.
wasn't really much of a deal. I mean, it's been good crack.
And someone here can cure you of your magic. I'm not saying that I want that.
He'll be able to cure me of the geese. I don't know about the magic.
Oh, well, that would be
Make a
preferable,
Arcana
right?
check.
Sweet.
As I nod Stupid DM, stupid. Stop giving away secrets.
I mean, it's implied that I'm being attacked because someone could help me.
Yeah.
Arcana, you say? You'd think I'd be, you should know I'm not. 10.
Arcana. Not a great Arcana check.
No.
You don't know. It might strip you of some of your magic. It might strip you of all your magic. There is some sort of connection between your run-in with this puka, the talents you currently, display in the world, and not ever being cured of this curse. But the curse you don't know. You're like, oh, they cursed me of something. There's like a black spot in your memory.
Yeah, it's a weird curse. I remembered as soon as he started talking to me, but I obviously didn't know before that. I also, how much do I know about geese in general? Maybe just as a Fiona stuff. Like
you would know. Geese are often put upon mighty Hibernian warriors to kind of like destiny, destiny fulfilling things. Usually come in groups of 3. Like, don't do this, this, and this.
Ah, shit.
The last one, oh fuck, there's a really, really good one. There's like 7 of them. Like, do not enter a house after 3 men dressed in red. There's like an actual famous one.
No, but that's
who is that?
Cullen?
No, it's not
Cuchulainn.
Cuchulainn. It's one of the kings of the Milesians, I think. It's from the king cycle of Irish mythology. I will post about it on social media because it is class.
Food? Or is that Cuchulainn?
Can't talk about
Cuchulainn
Fight
does have some
Club?
geese on him or some
He can't
prophecies.
refuse food.
Yeah.
He can't eat a dog or something. And there's something where he gets someone. He has the 2 geese coincide, and he has to eat the thing that he promised he couldn't eat because someone offered it to him.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
So because he couldn't refuse it. There's something like that.
Yeah, it's a real trickery.
It's usually one of those deals where you get,
Test it.
I'll look it up during the break and list them off because they are hilarious.
I can't go to Draíocht, which is pretty funny.
Okay.
Your geese don't come here.
No, but what I know about whether or not that nearly killed me. Whether or not it's going to happen again.
Another Arcana.
Yeah, maybe
Do
another
I know
one.
that? Okay.
Or if you want to use the 10.
No,
It's not
I'm
the type
happy,
of thing
I'm
that
happy to
just-
roll.
Yeah.
I'm happy to roll more than 10.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'll take the 10. No, I got 6.
You could bend some luck here if you really wanted to.
Sure? No. I can't use it.
No, you would know. Like, I shouldn't have made you roll in the first place. It's not the type of thing that you're just like, I hope I survive this damage, and then curse cured.
Yeah, I didn't
it
think
will
so.
happen again. You just don't know when. You do know where. Here.
Yeah.
But you don't know when. But part of the curse has given you the answer to your curse as well, which is kind of a neat little wordsmithing there. Don't come here, they'll cure you if you come here.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have told you where they could cure you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I really should have rehearsed this before I shouted the curse at you. Ugh. If you're out there, cursing people, putting geese on them, or geese, practice some error
spoilers,
first.
yeah.
But not properly, because you could put it on yourself.
Yeah. The last thing you want.
Happens to the best of us. Yeah.
Someone here can cure you.
But I don't know who, and I don't know if I'll die if I stick around for, say, an hour more in Draíocht. I might need to go back on the boat because I wasn't attacked on that. I guess that counts as not being in Draíocht.
Oh,
But I have some time for the moment.
yeah.
and
Is there somewhere that we can go? That's very fitting that you said this. Is what I was planning on doing when we came here, was trying to find some sort of library or religious place. My town that I'm from has been cursed, and I have been trying to find how to break
really?
that curse. And it's funny that you bring that up, because where do we go?
Sure
I'm trying to
isn't
find
that
some
mad?
curse breakers.
So you're on board with curse breaking.
Yeah, trying to find maybe somewhere where I also heard that this is the town where people can do those things. Or,
I hadn't heard anything in Draíocht.
You just felt compelled to come here for some reason.
Yeah.
Classic case.
Just felt like getting hurt. Yeah.
I didn't know how much I can do here without possibly dying. I know I looked really cool, but it hurt a lot.
can I use healing word on you just to heal you up a bit?
That would be great.
Yeah, can I do that? Let me remind myself of that. 1d4 plus that. Where's the d4?
Trying to think if Arlington would know anything. I mean, he knows nothing. He's an idiot.
He's muted.
I hope you're watching. You're an idiot.
I wild magicked him to be muted.
I'm going to just draw a picture of Hibernia, but without Draíocht on it, and show it to him to trick him into healing 6 points.
6 points.
A little band-aid over Draíocht. Healed. The curse is gone.
Upon hearing this, I'd like to go over to someone who's on the dock and just ask them, Hello, how are things? I'm a wizard from far away. How are things?
You're trying to make a performance check, aren't you? it's like I got that double proficiency.
Arian, you're a wizard too.
It's rubbing
Well,
off.
and it's just a tall elven man, simple dockhand. He's taking inventory of a ship that's just come in. Things are good.
Good to hear, my friend. I'm looking for magic things. Do you know anyone in Draíocht who would be able to help me with magic?
make a performance. Make a deception check. I don't
Gladly.
I mean, is he deceiving?
Natural one.
I mean, it knows. It knows how well you can perform.
It's testing you.
Well, there we go. Yeah.
I don't know how much this person I don't know which part of this entire stick they do not care for. It's like you're looking for magic in Draíocht. Well, it's everywhere.
That's handy. Can you be more specific?
The temples, the Grand Library, Ars Nafina, come on, Kultura, the docks here, and he just kind of gestures, and like some flowers grow, and he's just like, I can do magic.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
Quail? I'm just gonna look through the flowers for quail.
Shrunken down.
Yeah.
Honey, I shrunk my quail.
well, could you point us to the temple, I suppose?
Temple is that direction, the Alder Glade. When you see the alders, you're at the temple.
Thanks, my man.
It's on the other side of the river.
I like this wizard. Right? When you wizarding.
All right, guys.
To the temple.
The temple's over this way, by the Elder Glade.
Okay,
You see
cool.
them call over like a city guard after talking to you and just like point around. Like, what? Just keep something's. I'm a wizard.
And are you okay? Do you think you'll last? Well, we just see how you get on. See if you perish.
Let's take a risk.
Or would you prefer to wait here on the boat? I think you should definitely.
You could wait here on the boat. We could find the information, and this curse.
I was going to wait, but seeing how well you found out where the temple was, I think I'd better come along as well and risk death.
You
But
are already on the soil.
Yeah, it could be the kind of thing where if you get on the boat and then come back, bam, happens again.
Yeah.
True. We didn't know anything about these geese.
We don't know anything, so
Or
let's just. You're
guys.
alive now, and let's take
Yes.
that as a
And
sign.
they might need to see you and sense something from you. I think you're valuable to the mission.
Do I know anything? Can I find a Fianna?
Yeah,
Because it's a big place. There's definitely a Fianna somewhere.
not only are there members of the Fianna here, there is a headquarters of the Fianna.
Oh, sweet.
Ars na Fianna, which is in the Ashford district.
Okay.
So when you see ash trees, you're in the Ashford district.
Cool.
You
Is it
begin to
something I would
gather.
know?
Yeah, I think
'Cause,
you would
yeah,
know.
I
You
know
know,
where the
like
headquarters is, yeah,
generally,
yeah.
you don't know where the Ashford district is. You just know it's in there.
Okay.
It is one of those things that you're picking up about Draíocht as you sort of wander the streets. There's no city map. The locals tend to just know where everything they need is. Don't really get a lot of like wander the streets tourism. Usually there's some kind of guide who can bring you around, and it becomes a little bit of a badge of honor. Like you're considered a local when you stop getting lost in the city.
Okay.
And they don't need maps because all the kind of areas and districts of the city are known by the predominant trees that are used to kind of grow the buildings. Whoa, God. I hate buildings. It seems to be that the city is split in two, with this river Rockshore running through it. And across the river itself, you see sort of branches from trees interweaving above. Looking up, you realize, like, they must climb through buildings, go across, and come back down, or the city itself is on multiple levels. You kind of noticed as you sailed in that people were just like handily getting across these trees. It's probably a bit nauseating if you suffer from some level of height-induced vertigo.
As
You know,
opposed
right
to
what you know. But it seems like it's half buildings, half trees, as if they built something and the trees sort of grow around it like a trellis. It's spectacular. It's just the sprawling city of endless forest.
We need to get some art for this place.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, that would be. Whereas I just went, don't draw a map. It's complicated. Just use a little Excel sheet.
Where we're going, we
What's
don't
left,
need
what's-
maps.
Classic. No one has a map, so don't ask for one.
I was gonna ask that
Same,
kid to draw us a
yeah.
map, but you know I love maps.
I know, and I like drawing them, but it's just an elven city of mix of trees and stuff. I was just like, this is too big. This is my first city as a first-time DM.
It'd be
It
tough.
is huge.
It'd be tough because all we'd see is the top of the tree. It's just a forest.
trees.
Yeah.
It's just a forest. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah. hard to
Speaking
get
of,
in.
it's sort of this eternal dusk. Because it's so much tree cover, it's just this delightful, peaceful twilight. And as you walk through the city, trying to find your way to the temple district, or to the...
I was gonna say, so I know some Fianna and their headquarters are here. They seem like the lads that might know something about breaking curses.
Great.
More than your information that you got off your man was great.
Well, I'm happy to go with you. Although, if we need to know where the temple is, I'm your man.
Yes. Hi.
Oh, yeah.
And we may very well. It's
Pat
not a
you on
bad
the shoulder.
shout.
There. Yeah.
A mighty wizard such as yourself doesn't need a map.
I didn't know you were a wizard.
I'm not a wizard. That was a lie.
Ah.
Your passive gullibility is, I don't know, 4.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's high.
I definitely believe it.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
I need one of you to make whoever's leading the party. Presumably
guess it'd
Huck.
be me,
Yeah. Make a survival.
Punks.
Or it's true. It's bedazzled. Like
Yeah. Follow the bedazzle.
Clink, 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 clink. Make a survival or an investigation check. Survival is kind of because it's partly a city of nature. Investigation is like trying to really.
I'm gonna go
Quick
survival.
question: do we want to keep our Huck's Punks? I can't remember. Was she saying on the bus? I never said bus. That C bus we took. Was she saying that people did know that we were behind them, or that she would tell people? Like, should we be hiding the fact that we're this guy?
I mean, I'd be very surprised.
I think you're overestimating how famous we are.
It's also it's emblazoned on both sides. You can't just turn
Oh,
it.
shit. Never mind. Then wearing it with pride again.
I know I embraced it. Did you guys?
I did,
Great.
yeah.
Good. Sweet. I'm gonna use survival.
I presume it's your higher stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Makes
good,
sense.
Good thinking.
Plus sometimes.
Classic
Yeah.
D&D move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it went badly. 8.
Yeah, it did go badly.
Ooh,
You
no,
are.
I can't.
like,
I could bend luck and give myself potentially plus. No, I shouldn't.
It could be at least a 12 or
Yeah.
at most.
It's not gonna be helpful.
No.
I can
Surely
minus
every
4.
time you fail a survival check, you should just die.
Yeah.
I didn't fail. I got 5.
Trip into a gutter and
Yeah.
be no more.
Damn, you were so
Or 8.
bad at surviving.
You guys, the sheer confidence of which Huck is set off towards Ars Novena, like an hour passes, and you're like, man, this city's big. And I thought I noticed some Bashfords like almost immediately when we left the docks. And you continue going past, you go through sort of District of Oaks, known colloquially as Oakvale West.
Can I help him in any way? Like, can I draw pictures of ash trees or anything to remind him what they look
I know
like?
what an ash looks like.
Like, would that help? Could that help in any
Good.
any diceable way?
Yeah. You can.
I
At
should
what
have
point-
said
at
at the
what
time
point
that he
does Huck
rolled,
admit that
right?
he's lost?
And then does he get to roll twice?
The plus side, Arlington has a brain for maps, so if you just walk the entire city, you'll never get lost again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
the axe.
You start coming. The city itself is thinning out, and Huck, you're like, I'm almost certain, like it's in the center of the city. So if you want to roll with advantage, another survival check, but like
Take 2.
2-3 hours
Natural
have
20.
passed. Natural 20.
Teamwork.
All it took was 2 laps of the city.
Specifically
With
on the west
advantage. I rolled a 5 again.
side. Which one do you want to take?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 20. I think.
Take
I'm
the
gonna
20?
Take this. So
It's
20,
like
23.
You're scrolling through a video subscription service and like, I want to watch that. But let me check the entire library to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
I definitely want to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
that.
Maybe I should bend luck and add 4.
No, natural 20, you're like, yeah, we definitely passed Ashford, like, first set of trees away from the docklands. So you make...
I got you guys. Now you've seen the whole place. It was actually back at the start. That was all on purpose.
Sure, we've been on a boat for so long. It was actually kind of nice. Just stretch the legs.
I wasn't.
Ah, yes, I was cramping up. Yeah.
I am in no way worried about time.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay?
I think I'm feeling grand.
You have literally walked it off.
Yep.
You make
Like
your
any
way all the
hangover.
way back. It was sort of late morning when you docked up, maybe early morning, I can't remember exactly. Let's say early morning. And now it's kind of middle afternoon, and you reach Aris Nafina.
Cool. So, I mean, I know the secret handshake. I know how to get us in.
Yeah, it's like this incredibly impressive building, sort of built within this series of ash trees. It's almost as if, like if you can picture like an apartment block made of trees. It's this wooden fortress, sturdy with a sort of stone foundation, stretching 13, 14 stories up. In one part, there seems to be this main tower. The building itself, as it comes down from this tower, takes up maybe 6 stories. It seems to be a mix of residential homes dotting the structure, like apartments, and then the main tower itself cuts through to, like, you're almost certain it breaks the clouds. It's that high up. That would be where the champion of the hunt, the kind of leader of the Fianna in this district, would live, in the kind of main tower, overlooking the forest, to see if there's any, like, giant things crunching through the trees, making their way towards the city to destroy it.
Yeah.
Classic D&D stuff.
Yeah, class.
Yeah.
Leader, high up tree.
You make your way in. There's not much of a like handshake, flashing the badge. Like, you are dressed like a member of the Fianna. No one questions you. In fact,
Perfectly,
I think
what everyone thought was generic average clothes, very carefully picked Fianna clothes that I didn't tell you right then and there.
Yeah.
you're
'Cause it's
wearing
a secret.
a brooch of the Fianna.
Yeah.
And someone else is.
No, we have.
You've
Was
won
it
tattoos?
branded onto us?
Tattoos
by,
are branded on you or something like that?
You're
And I
on Salon?
actually,
By Lanfalon, yes.
No, that wouldn't be from the Fianna.
and I'm not sure if I got the brooch.
But you would have gotten one from your head. You have a cloak anyway.
I have a cloak. Yeah. No, but I think the brooch is like fully fledged.
Early
I'm not fully
days, like
fledged.
Oh no,
year
the
ago.
brooch we got from.
Lobos
Yes. Oh, we
room.
picked one up.
Lobos.
Yeah.
But we
Yes.
gave it
We have one.
to
I
can't
someone
remember.
else because I happened to already be okay from the dog. So
Either way,
One of us has one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can prestidigitate one.
yeah, you're in. You know that here contains some training grounds. There would be bed and board for members of the Fianna and a couple of guests. You can stay here while you're in Draíocht, should you wish. There are dining halls. There are sort of spell tomes and books on the realms of Hibernia. Generally, they keep some level of information of these sort of types of creatures and monsters and things they try to protect here. It sort of acts like a hunting guild for the local area. There'll be bounties on certain monsters you want to slay, certain jobs. You do know that there would be a teleportation circle here connecting it to Baglan. All the headquarters are connected for easy kind of
Well,
across.
that will make things very easy in the future.
You still need to pay to use it, but
Yeah.
you know.
It's a
Or run
teleportation
in.
circle. So wait, is it the same as the one that was in? God, I can't remember the name of the.
We came across another one.
McKellar? Was that the name of the city we were in?
Yeah.
You're in the town of
For ages, McKellar.
McKellar,
Yeah. They had a circle which went to the Feywild.
No, they had little weather
right.
circles. No.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
no,
no.
It's not that.
No,
It's
no.
No,
teleportation.
it's teleportation circle.
I mean,
The
he's
circle they
already
had
forgotten
there-
the rattling bog now.
on
so, I
this
mean, like,
plane.
Yeah. The circle they had that went to the Feywild, for clarification, was just like an open fairy ring glade, a safe space in which if you were to travel there, you're not going to hit into anything on the other side.
Okay, yeah.
It was Citra's kind of potion and concoction and her magic that helped you
That brought
sort of
us there.
Yeah.
slip into the other world.
Yes.
So is there like a clerk?
Yeah, like a library clerk.
Classic
Yeah.
Fianna clerk.
Yeah.
Right,
Do we take a ticket? You know.
There is
Save us.
not necessarily anyone welcoming you in, but as you explore this structure, you don't necessarily go into any accommodation. You go straight for the kind of the main mess hall, and there is a party of 3, which you recognize as a party of Fianna. They always travel in packs of 3.
Yeah.
You see an elf, you see a dwarf, and you see this sort of like hulked sort of reptilian figure, too big for the bench they're sitting on, kind of peer up to you, and they're wearing these kind of little thin rimmed spectacles. They have this sort of like soft pointed mouth. I don't know if you've ever seen a turtle before.
I don't know that I
but
have.
there are these
yeah.
like bipedal giant turtle-esque creatures. They took an early day in Wizards of the Coast that day.
Yeah.
What are we gonna call this? Turtle? Yeah, grand.
They're
What's
great.
next?
I know we had
Oliphants?
turtles in Hibernia.
They're there and they look up and they go, "Oh, good day." And they look around and it's a party of 4 and they go, "Guests?"
Well, yeah, these lads don't really know the Fianna as well. I'm working my way up to be a Fianna, but actually, I'm here. Do you know anything about curses or breaking geeses or anyone in here that might be able to? I'm under quite a bit of time constraint.
breaking a geese. And this is the elf talking to you. No, it's not the elf. It is the... Let's come up with an accent for dwarves.
Oh.
No, turtles. Turtles are more fun to play.
Okay, yeah.
What do you want to call them?
Geeses. Well, what kind of... Do you know the manner of the curse you were put under? Or?
Not to ask for help. It's hurt quite a lot.
Well,
You mentioned a puka. Would that help if it was by a puka?
He didn't quite get it. He couldn't really hear. But he's like, what? A pooche?
A puka?
I think it might have been from a puka.
So it's very, very in nature.
Connected
Yes,
to his
fey
magic,
geese.
right?
Let's just ask about the curse.
And when did you get on a Fianna mission?
Oh, I've been doing all sorts of Fianna missions.
Oh, where are you on your training?
I have done one or two, and I'm gonna declare a few as soon as I have a moment in time here to get myself further along.
Nice. Well, what kind of... sorry, I'm getting distracted. You're cursed.
Yes, I.
And this turtle kind of stretches around, and you feel the bench itself like lift up a little bit, and just reaches around in this little pouch, pulls out this book, starts flicking through it, like not slow. Turtles aren't slow.
No.
That's a rumor.
It's a myth.
Yeah,
Turtles are slow.
turtles are incredibly slow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Flicks through like a magical. Well, I might. It's not my specialty per se. I deal with the magics of. I'm a wizard, you see.
That's good to ask.
You didn't. And like this turtle, you get the feeling that like even his own party are just like, oh boy, asking the turtle questions. This is
Can I say? Can we introduce ourselves? I'm Iggy, and can I go to shake their hands and ask their names?
Yeah. Let's see what we got. Let's see. I'm the puka. No.
Again, time constraints. No.
Yeah. Let's call this turtle another white hag. I have two white hags at the table. They are a great brewery. They recently won 2 awards down at the Franciscan Wild Cask Fest.
Did
One
they?
for their Little Fawn, delicious, and one for one of their special brews. Little Ulkin.
Little
Ulkin.
Will be the name of
Okay,
this
is it-
giant turtle.
Giant turtle.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it's classic.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that little orchid.
Anyone want to name the dwarf?
Hop house?
13.
Up as 13. I've 12 other brothers.
I feel like Staropraman.
Staropraman can be the name of the elf.
Staropraman.
Staropraman, Hophouse, and Little Ulkin. Sweet. Staropraman. Sorry, let me just take a minute.
Which one is the hop house?
Hophouse 13 is the dwarf of he's 12 other brothers.
Yeah, of course. Excellent. Okay.
Hophouse 13 and then Little Ulkin. Iggy, you say, my name is Little Ulkin. And the other two seem to be just busy in their own sort of conversation. This is Staropraman and Hophouse 13. 13.
Hello, Hop House 13. Hello, Staropraman.
Why do they call him Hop House 13?
Why do they call you up? I have 12 brothers.
12
brothers. You know this, Ulkin. Oh, okay.
All called Hop House. Uncreative.
It's a family name.
Well, one of them's called Dopey. They skipped a number. You think they'd skip 13? Little Ulkin is my name. I'm a wizard of the Fianna. This is our band. We don't have a name. We travel around. We mostly do bounties around here. Oh, fully fledged members, unlike your friend.
I'm Huck.
Huck.
We are Huck's Punks.
And I'm Rian, and I think that we should change
He's
the
in
name.
Huck's. He's in Huck's Punks.
I'm in Huck's Punks, yes.
And the turtle looks up to your kind of bandanaed friend and your Orlington. A bit like Hophouse 13, I'd say. Not a talker. Ick, handy.
Hi, but breaking geese.
And he's flicking through notes, and they're just sort of, they're quite meticulous. Like, it's like looking at someone's well-prepared leaving cert notes. It's just like color-coded, really in there. It's just breaking geese.
So he's a nerd.
And he flicks to G. Well, nothing there. That's just gust. And flicks back and goes, see. Oh, see, curse. Well, Let's see how much he knows. He knows a lot.
Great.
Yeah, I think I know how to. Well, I don't personally. I don't know the how do you say the materials you need, but I would say some sort of it's a curse in its purest nature. If you could remove the curse from yourself, that would break the geese. Sort of restore yourself to your greater self.
Great.
Do you know where to? I don't think there's a couple of parties out at the moment on missions. I don't think they have clerics or paladins or those of the religious nature.
I mean, is there anyone in Draíocht?
Well, the temples.
Oh, aye, the temples. Great.
The temples, you say?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's usually where you'd find kind of clerics or those who worship the gods and.
And most people would know this around Draíocht, would they?
Well, most, yeah. That's probably the first place they'd send you to if you needed to find any sort of magical healing.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, we'll take that on board. Thank you very much for all of your help.
Do you know where the temples are?
I do. Yes.
Could you point us in the right
Which is
direction?
the best
No
temple?
need.
Which temple would you give 5 stars?
5-star temples. For a curse of this nature, couldn't be Caoil. That would be the opposite of what you want. Do not go to the temple of Caoil.
What about the one in the Alderglade?
They're all in the Alderglade.
Cool.
Aye, that's
The temple
section.
for the Dagda, maybe. The Temple of Life.
Aye, that could be good.
A temple of Manon and MacLear, Temple of Nature. They'd be a good shout.
Temple of Nature, you say?
Well, it's a guess. Maybe the Morrigan. She is the goddess of death and fate.
I am
Ooh,
familiar with the Morrigan.
can
She
you-
might be a bit.
Tell me that one
It's a
again.
bit drab.
Drab.
What did you say the name of that one was?
Well, the Temple of the Morrigan.
The
She is a
Morrigan.
triple goddess, a goddess of fate and death.
I think I might need that one.
What's Dagda again?
I mean, fates
Dagda
are
is the
great.
Temple of Life.
Life.
but Fates are very happy. I love a good fate.
Okay. Just gonna crack open Star
Protestant,
Brown
are
in
you?
there.
I didn't know you practiced religion.
It's the only word I know that has the triangle on top.
It's a little hat. Yeah, it's a good word.
Yeah.
Good job, Fates.
Yeah.
But I guess the Dagda, maybe, or Manon and MacLear.
Okay, so Dagna, Temple of Nature, the Morrigan, or Madam Niclair?
Mulligan MacLear
I
is
thi-
the
I-
nature one, isn't it?
Manon and MacLear.
Madam
MacLear.
Yeah. Madame Madeir.
Madam Macalise.
No, that's the Temple of Madame Robinson. That's over in Ars and Uachtaráin. But I believe she's been Ars and Uachtaráin. Another Dustin reference there for all you Dustin fans out here. Late night on Homebrew FM. Coming up next, it's Rat Trap with Sir Bob Geldof.
Okay, cool. This sounds. Should we
You need
head to
the
temples?
Temple of Death. Are you feeling okay?
Yes.
Excuse me?
It's not afflicting me currently. Just where I'm from. And
Well,
that
it
sounds-
afflicts us all eventually.
Yes, doesn't
Not
it?
us all, actually. I do know.
If they could cure death, that wouldn't be so bad.
Well, this sounds great. I think. Is it okay if we stay here? If we go and research and we come
Well,
back
you
and
get
stay?
bed and board with Hook.
Oh yes, excellent.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
We can come back, and
what
there's
might
definitely
you-
some
What
things
time
to
is
do
breakfast
here.
served until?
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
So
Scabby.
morning to noon.
That sounds like dinner. Sound.
Yeah. You might need to introduce yourself to the champion of the hunt.
They
They might be in their quarters up the tower. Or if you want to leave your name, we've just come back from a sort of walkabout mission, I suppose. We're resting our wounds for a week or so, but I can put in Huck. Is it?
Yes,
Huck.
Huck Flynsire.
And from which district, I guess, or which Oris are you from? That's not how you use that word.
Which house am I from?
Hufflepuff.
No.
No, it's
Where
Bahaglen.
where was
Would have
it?
been
Bahaglen, yeah, cool. Yeah. I started in the old Bahaglen one.
Oh, big leagues. No wonder you're still on your trials. It's pretty tough up there. Ever
There
find a
are
hill
easier
troll?
trials somewhere else, is there?
Well, it's like driving. It's like just head to Nutgrove. You'll pass like that.
Well, not necessarily. It's just you know yourself. You have to tick off the things from the.
I know
to
all
be
the
honest,
things, yeah.
Hop House was keeping track when I did them. I just sort of passed. Teamwork is good. Sometimes you pass through teamwork. You might become Fianna actually if you
You just keep track.
No way.
Do you need cards?
I hadn't.
Yes, please.
I don't. That was a joke.
Oh, okay. Damn.
I will.
Are you good for anything other than just dunking on me?
Slowly smiles.
Well,
no.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Shall I introduce you to the champion of the hunt, or will I just mention that you're here? There's plenty of spell rooms. The building
maybe
is
mention that we're here. I'll definitely come see him. But I'm, as I said, very focused on trying to deal with this.
Yeah, we better hurry.
Yes, we better.
I think you'll understand. Sure, it's a very.
And you sure you don't
thing.
need me? I can walk you over there, save you getting lost. But I presume you just
Sure.
came straight from the docks.
Yes,
Aye,
we did. Yes,
we did.
Actually, a guide would be very helpful. Yes.
Oh, well, sure, I'd happily. Which temple was it? The Morrigan, the Dagda, or Manan and Meklir?
I mean,
Dagda.
it's what you thought the
Dagda?
Dagda. I thought you seemed most sure about the Dagda.
It's the Temple of Life. Right?
Temple of Life.
One of the bigger gods. You haven't passed your history test yet, have you?
Oh, I've passed all sorts of tests.
But not that one. Well, maybe this can help.
Yeah.
All the resources are there.
Great.
And the Stordo gets up and just kind of creaks. And for the first time, you see them roll their back into the shell. And, like, the glass eggs, which are comically small, are now, like, just, like, resting just on the tip of its sort of... Turtles have beaks, right? Kind of? Is that how you
Kind
describe
of,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Resting on their beak.
One of turtles or tortoises has beaks.
One of them does.
Yeah.
And he picks up a sort of walking stick from one side and takes that book up, puts it into the pouch, slings it over the shoulder.
He goes, I just need to grab my cloak of the Fianna. I'll be back in a moment. I guess grab yourself a drink. Have you had lunch?
No, starving actually.
Well, help yourself
Aye,
to
but
our
we're in a
stores.
We're in a bit of a hurry.
But we have to wait for him. I can at least get a sandwich.
Help yourself.
And as little Ulkin slowly walks away towards there.
So wait,
Why do we take turtle as a guide?
depending on a turtle to get us there quickly.
You get
Hey, look.
I will meet you there.
There's no hairs around. What do you expect? If you want to get there fast and fall asleep, get a hair. That's where we will take our halftime break. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back in about 15 minutes. We are going to refresh our drinks. We suggest you do the same as we finally come to the plot of this thrilling curse.
Whoa!
Which was kind of a lot of fun. I lost you guys. Anyway, I'm liking Little Ulkin. I'm going to practice what they're really like over the break. And I'm going to look up those geese. So when we come back, remind me in chat, one, what you're drinking. I'll try to weave it in. Two, to mention the 7 curses or 7 geese under the... I will know everything after the break.
I mean, I said geese. Do you want to do
Gas?
Gassa?
There's definitely... This could be a don't be that Gygax award moment. Because one, I am bad at words.
Yeah.
So I can't be
I can't
blind.
help you. I think I know it as geese, but it could be geese or Gassa, I think in Irish.
Yeah, I think it might be Gassa. Yeah, let's go with Gassa.
I think Gansey.
I'm a little.
Think
I've
that's it?
got a little Gassa.
I'm sort of the Irish one in the
Yeah.
team here. So.
Sort of our Gale Gore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back. Our check team are like, cut the string. We'll be back in 15 minutes. See you then. Hey!
Whoa!
What the fuck?
Where the hell did you come out of?
+3 to stealth.
He's been there the entire time.
Excellent.
Pulling the
Arlington,
strings like a clumsy puppet master.
welcome to the table. Thank you for joining us
You were very
on
welcome.
this wonderful plot-filled adventure.
Yeah, it
I
seems
have
like
some
you-
promises I
yeah.
made to the audience. You need to roll hit dice.
Oh yes,
I
yes.
challenge you to a speed race. No, I'm not going to do that. It was Conor Moore, the High King of Ireland, who had the 7 Gassa upon him, of which they were, because he was part Birdman.
The old Birdman one.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
the old
to not
Birdman
attack
trope.
and not attack other bird people.
Yes. Don't kill birds.
Okay.
Never go clockwise around Tara, or anti-clockwise around Braish. Never hunt the crooked beast of Kiarna. Never sleep in a house in which firelight can be seen from the outside through the spokes of a wagon.
It's extremely specific.
And yet he does it.
But also, I mean, it's a very hard promise to keep.
How can you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're asleep somewhere and then someone pulls in through a cart and then someone has a
No, don't know.
fire.
Just start all over
Ah,
now.
No parking. Never enter a red house after 3 reds, which 3 people wearing red enter a house, and he's like, look, well, I can't run ahead of them. That'd be so mean. Never allow pillaging in Ireland during your reign. Never
He
allow.
did not succeed in that, I assume.
Was a reign of pirates.
We were so distracted with like counting red people going through the doors.
His first rule was like loads of pillaging. He was like, pillage.
Pillage the birds.
Yeah.
Pillage them of their life.
Bring me every bird person for me to kill.
He got them all
Surround
wrong.
my house
Try
with
and do
wagon
it.
wheels.
Yeah.
And then rock me, mama.
Never allow any man or woman alone in a house where you're staying after sunset. So he had to just like sleep by himself or whatever.
Okay.
Never settle a quarrel between 2 of your subjects. So it's like, not my business.
Worst-
I'm not High King.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I am.
Worst thing as a king as well.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I won't settle your dispute.
And then finally, never spend more than 9 consecutive nights away from Tara. If you want to hear the actual story behind any of these, do check out the Fireside podcast on Head Stuff Podcast Network. They tell Irish mythology and stories and stuff. Look for the one called Conor O'More. It explains all of it. And birds aplenty.
Are there women on the show?
Yeah.
Plenty of birds in the story because he's descended from some sort
I
of
thought you meant on
birds.
the podcast.
Yeah.
No, just actual birds.
There's a bird's nest outside. It makes for a terrible
They
podcast.
actually podcast by a fireside.
Yeah, do check it out. It's a great source of actual Irish mythology and folklore. Here, it's just sort of a world set in a sort of, if we
Actual
skewed our D&D game to Irish mythology, that's what you get here, and add a bunch of
Just call it
booze.
what it is. It's an affront to our history, man.
Yeah.
Well, look,
It's a slap in the face.
aren't I always? Right, let's jump into the game. Arlington, what did you
yes.
get for hit dice?
So I will be rolling a new die, which I'm confused by. Where's it
Oh,
go?
of course.
Yes. So I will be taking a level in fighter, which means my hit die becomes a D10.
Ooh.
Well, for this one, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm rolling for my health. So I will get. Do I add my con modifier?
Yeah.
You do?
Which is. Come on, phone.
It's
Sorry.
always better than your pro.
It was going to be a 5 plus 2, so 7 health.
Nice, good job.
I'm now up to a delicious 57 health.
What do you get as
Wow.
first level fighter?
First level fighter, I will be dipping into the Unearthed Arcana, which allows, instead of normally I take a fighting style, like you're good with sword, good with shield, I will instead be dipping into the Battlemaster maneuvers. So I get to choose one of the maneuvers per long rest, and I get to use that once.
Wow.
Which is, I should actually tell you which one I'm choosing, shouldn't
No,
I?
I don't need to know these things.
No?
Well, I mean, look, I'm just going to trust you. The exact maneuver you've picked that works in the exact situational combat we're doing, I presume you thought ahead.
I do have one picked out.
I run all my notes by you.
Do you have a
You're the only
maneuver
DM I
that
know.
cures curses?
That would be
That's
great.
That'd be
I
excellent.
have access to it, but narratively I think it would
You
be
should
a
pick
down.
it right now. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I also have like the one ring in my loot, but I'm not going to bring that out.
It's still on the loose.
I will say it's character fitting.
Okay.
So he's going to become
my
a
Bear
my character
claws.
likes to win, so it's the best one in the.
It's the best one.
Yes,
You do
yeah.
like to win.
I'll say Arlington doesn't know how to use it yet. Grud does.
Cool. Good to know. Good to know. And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Red Bull because I'm driving.
Oh, it will be a good
Good.
character
Responsible.
The Red Bull.
Yeah, we haven't named
Ooh, they
anyone
sound
Red Bull.
fucking
It's very
terrifying.
Have we not?
It's very Irish.
No.
You know.
No, not yet.
Orla says in the chat, quick react to Caoil disappearing into thin air.
No, I'm the biggest.
Oh, thrown down the gauntlet.
But if anyone who's looking closely can see a single tear,
It's caught instantly.
I think that's what
it's
she
soaked up.
It's like the dog when dogs have like a little like
Yeah, it's caught there.
got gunk. You got
Yeah, it's,
sad
gunk.
gunk.
It's like someone's gonna have to like mush my face like.
Let me go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to go back to that because we weren't really. We were all like, so moving on.
No, she just said it in the chat. I just want to,
Yeah, it's
Actually,
fair.
I'd say Arlington's probably assuming that Caoil is just like Naruto style, swapped with like a block of wood, and she's in the shadows somewhere watching. It's like, okay, she's gone, guys. We'll never see her again. She just left her boat here, whatever.
That bush has a fishing rod, so
Yeah, she's hiding behind that furbug shaped tree. an enormous towering over.
In the gardens of Draíocht. All the wild trees in the world, and yet the curated garden is where people spend most of their time. And we are back in.
Whoa.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. Let's jump into part 2.
Yeah.
The 7.8%. It's kicking in.
What are you drinking?
What are you drinking now?
I then moved on to Limelight, a 0%er. Got to balance it out. And now my choice is, I think I'm going to go to Little Oaken, because that's who's guiding
that's
the
his
temple.
guidance.
Yeah,
That's
as opposed to
pretty-
the Puka, who is the, both great drinks. Pick them up. I think a lot of White Hag at the moment, 4 for 10, if not 5 for 10.
Yeah, that looks like a different puka to the. Isn't
They have a Puka range.
Yeah.
It's all
Because
different.
Pukas
sort of
themselves are,
Yep.
wily creatures.
Yeah.
So,
Say
they're
that
all-
again.
They're all sours, though, aren't they?
yes, I
Yeah.
believe so.
The hibiscus and
Hibiscus and
Ginger.
lemon. Yeah.
Lemon?
or berry. It's a berry, or
They, again,
there's a pink one that's
we could
delicious.
all
I've
be
drank it a
right.
couple of
There's
times.
so many of them. Yeah.
They're great. If you like sours, great way to get them. Ulkin comes back. Will Ulkin comes back.
Very quickly. Yeah.
I was berated for my accents from either side of me during the break, by the way. The things I have to put up with on this show. I did not do the turtleneck thing, which apparently is a thing. So, here we go, guys.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, you're a turtle man. Yeah.
That's what the word I
It's
feel
until
like
he's
I'm
comfortable with
there.
you, then he'll recede out of the shell and it's kind of like, or not recede, the other one. Yeah.
The turtle head starts showing.
Shh, don't scare him. Don't spook him.
It's not like I have a cool name like Caravaggio or any of the other Renaissance painters. Maybe they'd call me Carv. I'd use nunchucks or something.
Carve would be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I did have a turtle monk called Carve. He spoke like this. He's Caravaggio, huh? He liked pizza. Pizza wasn't existent. But he'd say, "I get a pizza, you."
Was he a monk?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Monk and barbarian. He was alright. He was my
So cool but rude.
Yeah.
I see, my brand of D&D.
How bodacious was he though?
He wasn't a party dude.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't even a little bit tubular?
No, or bodacious.
How good was he with machines?
He knew how to hack and slash.
Very good.
Yeah. It's an easy pick and joke. It's definitely used before. So Ulkin, who isn't Caravaggio, who maybe, if a beer is called Caravaggio or Carve, will make an appearance on this show.
But only
A lot of ambiguity. Love it.
Kept brewing.
Send us a drink. Call it Caravaggio.
Yeah, you already had a beer named by Yellow Belly.
Yeah, Sky Tigers.
Sky
Who knows where they
Tigers.
are? So yeah, they're in the sky. It has a theme song and everything. I can't wait to bring them on the show. But suspense builds. So Lil Oaken takes you out of the Ashford district, and you cross. You have to climb up to the top of Arsnafina, and across the river into the Alderglade. And as you descend down, a sort of peaceful hush is in the city. You notice that you kind of, as you move through districts, it's like bustling activity. It's like it's a populous elven city. Everywhere you look, elves all the way down. Literally, because they're in the trees. But here it's a bit more tranquil, and that sort of cedarwood and vanilla scent that was floating through the air changes to an almost musky incense. You just missed that guy swinging the thing full of smoke, that kind of smell. For the Catholics out there, I don't know if they use it for any other thing. Religious incense.
Frankincense, isn't it?
Frankincense? Is that what they use?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure frankincense was the guy. It's frankincense's monster, which they use for.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got it wrong.
Yeah. It was frankincense's smoke. Frankincense was the guy holding the smoke.
Yeah. And it's,
A lot of people don't get
and
that.
it's Dr. Jekyll and Myrrh Hyde.
Thank you for saving that bit, because it wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. Now we can make a clip out of it.
I was gonna say, everyone remember this moment because I love that.
And Lil Oaken leads you towards the temple for the Dagda. There are many temples in Draíocht, 10 in total, as you might expect. And the temple you find is located amongst... it's kind of closest to the river. You kind of cross over a little bit further and then double back on yourself.
Can I see? I might maybe make some sense for me to go to the other temple while they go to that one.
If you want.
Yeah, so I might go to the
Where are you
Morrigan
going?
temple.
Do you not
Sorry, I'm
care
still
what
catching
happens
up.
to me?
Or I can come
Which
as
temple
well.
are we going to?
We're going to Temple Dagda,
Temple
the
of
Temple
Life.
of Life.
Yeah.
And
Dagda.
Actually, no.
Iggy.
You know what? Actually, I don't want to go to the Temple of Death by myself. I will wait and go with my lovely
I
friends.
was like, no, I do not want to go to the Valley of Doom.
You know what? I'm just going to shoot to the Temple of Death. Sorry.
Yeah.
Real quick, gotta pick something up.
We wouldn't be suspicious at all.
No, never mind. I stick with them. It's okay. Okay.
Cool. You see it and you're like, got it.
He's like,
I'm hitting Futureland after this. So you head into the temple for the Dagda, and unlike the other buildings around Draíocht, where they're sort of built into the tree, what's interesting here is the reason you have to kind of climb back down and through into the streets themselves is that they haven't built the temple into a tree or around trees. It's the empty space between the trees where this temple is set up. So it's almost like they're using that negative glade, and there's branches of intertwining not alder trees, creating sort of the roof of this temple. The purpose being, and it's a little on the nose, that life happens in the in-between moments. So they've sort of created this temple of life in this open space that all have access to.
so they've got branches in all their right places.
Oh.
Missed you. I missed you. You know, there was a certain energy. Though
Interrupting.
gives me time to read my notes. And so you walk through into this natural temple glade. It's closed, but on all but two sides. So the entrance, and then it sort of dips down into,
How do you close all the in-between spaces?
because the trees themselves are kind of creating
Oh,
a wall.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's basically now just a building shape out of trees.
You know, it sounded cooler written down,
Yeah.
but then I realized my dickhead friends are going to berate me for this. And I thought, well, maybe.
Sorry.
Negative space
It's a
is hard
beautiful
to
space.
use as walls.
I was just wondering how you close off. It's closed off from two sides.
Well, it's a ring of
Interesting.
trees
Okay.
creating the natural building, as opposed to the trees being the sort of scaffolding for
See
the
what
other
you're
buildings and trees.
So it's like if druids had a Ponzi open plan office with glass walls and stuff.
Druids definitely do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They
one
love
with
open
nature.
It's a grassroots movement kind of
Ah,
thing.
ah.
So you enter through, and in the center you see this sort of. There's not a lot of structure to this temple. There just seems to be an open, natural pool of ever-flowing water, made from sort of digging into the earth, and channeled towards the river itself, allowing this river to kind of flow in and flow out. So it's sort of directing the river stream, and then as naturally water flows, it flows back out again. There is something magical about this pool. It's sort of, you notice as you walk in and take this hush, and at this moment, Lil Oaken goes, well, you're here, so I'm just going to make my way back, and I'll see you back in home base,
You sure will.
buddy.
Thanks. Ah, buddy. He's a friend.
Everyone in the Fianna is a friend of mine.
See where you get it.
It's the best.
You don't know how much that means to him. Thank you so much.
I'll let the champion know you're here. I've just become a dude. I will let the champion know you're here, and if you need
Thanks
any
very
help
much.
with the arcane arts, you know where to find me. Lil Oaken, you might see me with Hop House 13 and Star of Promin.
Aye.
Elf Dwarf.
And
Turtle.
you just hang out exactly where we found you.
Well,
Generally.
I'm 3 stories up, second door to the left, from the northern entrance of the building.
Perfect. I'll remember.
But you'll show up on the mini map, so we can still find you.
Yeah, you'll see
okay.
my little footprints walking around the magical map.
And Lil Oaken leaves, and you notice there's sort of this light from overhead, from the gaps in the trees, bouncing off the surface of this water. It glistens constantly with a spectrum of colors, and it's a little bit breathtaking. Not to tell you how to feel, but it's
No, you've taken my breath.
it's quiet. There's not many, if any, worshippers here, but there is a male elven acolyte just sort of fishing broken twigs and branches from the pool, so they're not kind of washed back into the river
Using
itself.
one of those like pool skimmers.
Hey, he's just cleaning the pool.
Using wearing like Speedo hot pants kind of thing.
Hey,
Right.
cool boy. Yeah.
We all breathe in our own way.
He's raking the pool. His robes are white at the top, and as if they're dyed, they slowly become sort of blood red at his waist, and then continuing down. And he looks up.
Hi, Can I offer you any of our services here at the Temple of the Doctor?
See,
Praise to life and such things.
I always praise life.
My man.
Don't I always say that?
He regularly does.
And
yes.
friendship. I found that I apparently am under a geese. Do you ken any way of just fixing that or curing the old geese?
Oh, we have many sorts come to our... a verruca, perhaps, or mole, or what kind of thing do we need to remove?
No, a geese.
A
A geese, a gassa.
a gassa. Ah, yes.
Aye, that'll be the
Your
Elvish.
accent threw me.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me...
In Scots halfling, we say.
It's a little above my station, if you don't mind, but I can fetch the Grand Cleric.
Aye, that'd be grand.
Sure. Stay right here, I guess.
Great.
And this sort of accolade, is that what I call them?
Acolyte.
Accolade.
Got it right.
Like Gatorade. This acolyte heads off towards the riverbank, and the temple itself sort of slopes down, as with all life.
Aren't you drinking?
That's pretty
Jesus,
grim.
yeah. I mean, it
Until
starts out beautiful, and then it just descends into a pile of
It's
crap.
nothing but being taken away by the river of life. And
Ever flowing, full of junk.
you got to remove the twigs, but it keeps coming back in. That's life. And comes back with an old elven woman. Like, you've never seen an elf this old. Like, the elf has...
Oh, leave her alone.
Yeah, really laying into her. And she ugly.
How old is she?
You say she's distinguished? You don't say, you know.
Yeah, she's an old
Grey
lady.
touches their temples.
And she's kind of wrinkles and sunspots. The fact that she even has a few wrinkles must mean she is ancient.
Yeah.
Her robes are...
That's how women feel. Okay, I get it.
She's got these bingo wings, and it's just...
How dare time occur to us? You're right. Yeah.
We're gonna see like a full on. She was like, so she's like 35 years old.
Yeah.
Really?
Past it.
Yeah, really past her
Way
prime.
Past it.
You know, there's things she can do for that. I mean, she should. If she was a real woman, she would
Yeah.
just take care of it.
Yeah, there's all sorts of magical surgeries
Yeah.
available to women in D&D now.
The acolyte was like a silver fox in his prime at 65, just ripped, great form.
Yeah.
Some 19-year-old on his arm, just
Yeah, he
like
had character on his face.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, he had experience.
stories etched in his furrowed brow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this hag is.
Sorry,
I
go
do
on.
need help.
I need to decide on not my typical...
Yeah, careful with the voice.
yeah.
Hello? Who calls at this late hour?
How are you doing?
I hope it's the hag from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
The one that was like just coming and stuff. Yeah, you're one from the.
Yeah. No,
Banshee.
true
Oh,
to
Banshee, that's
form. I have been lazy with accents this episode, but I know what to use.
Is it that one?
Hello.
I like that
Like-
inflection. Go with that.
I know how to help you. No, I don't think I'm gonna. I'm not
she
gonna.
Yoda?
I've realized two things recently. One, didn't realize this recently. Shit at accents. Just get used to it. But quite good at Foley. So like water lapping. No one's gonna make fun of that.
Oh,
I thought that was Angus.
I mean, was that?
sorry, you can't take credit
Yeah.
for soundscape.
as like making
for
music.
Sirenscape.
Yeah.
No. And quite good written down sounding like people. So if you need me to catfish anyone on the internet, I'm pretty good.
I'm now very afraid that this old woman is going to sound like that sound effects guy from Police Academy.
Wow.
That'd be a great thing for an elf. For an incredibly old elf. Did you hear a machine gun?
Her robes are basically all white, except for a small trim of red around her feet.
Ooh, the higher the rank.
The less blood you have on your sheets.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's still, still some blood.
Yeah. No one's perfect.
I'm in all white, right?
Classic traveling clothes.
Prestidigitate myself to completely white.
There's a stained glass window of Huck in the background and a pure white.
Meanwhile,
He's here! The perfect one!
I'm gonna just look like Carrie, just you know. Hello.
I want to go to the Temple of Death.
Is D&D just easier with 3 players? Is that
Yeah, the common denominator of why the plot has come to this screeching halt. I am very sorry.
We did real well now.
Sorry,
He's back.
Hello, lady. Well, I don't know her name yet.
But, lady, why do you... How can I help? A curse, was it?
I found myself under a wee gyasa there. Specifically not to come here and ask for help.
And she reaches into her robe and takes out 2 alder wands. And she sort of just starts, like, lightly tapping you with them.
Aye, this is fun.
Yes, you
You are cursed.
I just found that out. It hurt a lot.
Oh. Are you from Drayt?
No, I'm fascinated by arcanic tools. I've never seen these before. They're quite fantastic.
They're just branches of Elder.
Oh, wonderful.
Has he seen magic before?
I've seen all sorts of fire magic.
I've seen all sorts of magic. It's just, I've different disciplines, and I've never seen this treatment. So he's really cursed.
Yeah.
Well, I can help with the curse.
That would be excellent.
Oh,
Most appreciated.
it nearly killed me.
Well, the temple would be more than happy to help. I
is great.
think a donation of 100 gold should do it.
Money.
We are a traveling band of, I believe the term is adventurers, and we're quite adept at solving problems. Heroes, I've called us heroes. So others, villains. We'd be more than willing to offer our services if there are any issues we could assist with in recompense.
Sure. Mostly we deal with prayers to the god of the Dagda and healing curses. So can you heal curses?
Well,
then it'll be 100 gold.
I think it's pretty clear and obvious that we can't clear curses.
We have some cash between us. Sure, Rian was holding on to some stuff for me.
100 gold is a lot, though, right?
I could cover almost a quarter of it.
Are you saying?
Are you 100% sure that you can remove this gas?
But
if we give you 100 gold or something equivalent.
Interestingly enough, actually, the 100 gold is to remove the pain you've recently experienced. It won't necessarily cure you fully. For that you need to... My young friend, something is weighing down your soul.
I don't know what you're talking. Didn't ken what you're talking about.
He might be the most carefree individual I've ever encountered. Worryingly so.
These sticks say different.
Well, you'd know.
I thought,
to be clear, I wouldn't get hurt again.
For 100 gold, I can remove. You will never get hurt again, and
But if there were any other effects of any kind of gas, they wouldn't go away.
No, unfortunately not. It would just remove that certain aspect of the curse. Do you need some... do you need some... I can talk to you over here if you need. There is a private consultation room, should you wish to avail of it.
Why would...
Curses can be quite personal. They can be quite individual matters. I'm sure if you were cursed, you wouldn't necessarily want to know that you were cursed with. And she comes over to you and kind of taps you with many matter of things.
Well, we're not here to... I'm not the one on trial here.
Perhaps I should go talk to her. I think she'll be happier one-on-one. Don't worry about me, lads.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a good idea.
just Huck, don't sign any long-term subscriptions or anything.
I don't know how to sign.
For 100 gold, you come in, and then if you sign other people underneath, you make your money back.
Good news, friends. We're all part of the church.
If you join the church and I make you join.
Now, Huck, remember, if you are comfortable being in a private space with this individual, that you are well within your rights to do so, just remember that friends don't pressure friends to do things they aren't comfortable with.
Well, that's fine. I don't do things I'm not comfortable with.
Well, good. Just I don't want you to be taken advantage of.
This is the Temple of the Dagda. You might find that in the Temple of Ogma, but in the Temple of the Dagda, we do not take advantage. You can go, there's a stuffy elf in the Temple of Ogma, right, surrounded by Ohmstones. They'll charge you 250.
I am so sorry. I didn't.
No, we didn't mean to besmirch your honor or
apologize.
your reputation.
I'm sorry for my heathen-y friends.
I apologize. I'm just very protective of my friend. In fact, I'm so sorry. I never caught your name.
Is it Lucky Jack?
Lucky Jack.
Can it be Cobra?
Oh, Cobra's a great.
And every time, it's like,
It does continue the trend that anyone slightly haggish is named after a snake.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Like
we
that
killed
little
the
girl.
last one, and she turned into.
is her name Dog Snake?
Well, I'm the Grand Cleric Cobra.
A wonderful and
Aye.
comforting name. My grandmother's name was Cobra.
Which of the Cobra... Are you
Well, her
making fun
first.
of me?
We called her Kai. Her first. We called her.
It is short for Cobra. Yes. That makes sense. Strike
Aye,
first.
so-
Strike
Having
fast
some
and
one-on-one
no
therapy there.
mercy is the family motto of the Cobras.
That's what my grandmother used to always say as well.
I didn't
Aye, so
realize
it's-
there were half orcs in our lineage.
Well, by marriage.
You go back
not
far
directly.
enough. Which means orcs, I guess. Well,
Yes, well, you don't have to put Anyway, so my friend is cursed.
very, very curious. Do you need to talk?
Aye, it's that way, is it?
Yeah, and she leads you down towards the riverbank. And the other acolyte there.
But shoo, go entertain our guests. Something is weighing you down,
Aye, well,
and I can cure you fully. There are gaps in your memory, child.
yes. See, I can cast magic now, but I didn't always know how to do that. You can, and I came across. I was chasing this rabbit, and all of a sudden, I didn't ken where I was, and there was this puka there, and he wasn't best pleased with me. I didn't know I ken why, but I think he's the one who put this gas on me. I only remembered it as soon as I arrived, and it specifically said, "Don't ask for help." So here I am.
Well, it's not like you're asking for help for free.
That
So
hadn't
we're
occurred to
providing
me.
a service, and that might be a way around the gas. And like I said, I can remove the pain. A gas is quite a curious thing.
I know there haven't been that many. I've never encountered any others. I've been looking for them.
There is here's what you can do, and I can cure you completely. 100 gold, the price doesn't change. That's just to relieve the pain. And for the services to keep the temple open, serviceable for the less fortunate. You say your adventurers tend to be a little bit more well off, given the bounties they take around the world.
I honestly never think about money. I'm sure they are well off. We never talk about it.
Well, maybe
Friends
maybe
don't
that's
talk about money.
That's what Rian always says.
there is a secret weighing down your soul, and what I suggest is that there are some forests north of Draíocht. Find the single birch tree, surrounded by the dead village, and if you whisper your secret into its trunk, and then nourish it for 3 days, let it grow and return the secret to me. I can make a concoction with it. You'll know when you get there what I mean. And
Okay.
after this potion, drinking it
Dead
will...
forest, you say?
The dead forest. It's a single birch tree in an isolated glade, surrounded by a dead village.
Aye, well, that won't be a hard forest to find.
It's just north of Draíocht.
Great.
And with that, I can heal you of this curse. I can remove the gasa and then restore the gaps. The secret is causing a blockage, a sort of a stopgap. It's something you're holding. I don't even think you know it yourself.
Sure I do. No, I don't. I'm lying.
You almost self-diagnosed.
I don't. It's all like a dream. If you cured me, would I still be able to cast magic?
She gives you a fair old whack with this elder branch. Goes,
You will continue to grow. The magic isn't a result of the curse. The magic was in you. The magic was
Oh.
friendship. The magic within you. It's
level
a
9 spell
natural.
That's why he's so obsessed with making friends. It makes him grow in power.
I am the big bad, surrounded by friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Behold my army of friends.
Is there any more Irish way of invading?
I can cure you of the pain almost immediately on payment of the 100 gold, and then you can return with your secret, and I will help.
Okay.
Should you wish, or if you want to keep it a secret, I understand. But you might start to feel stunted. We are the temple of life. Growth is important, but as is release.
And you see here, and I take off one of my shoes.
Well,
This will be cured as well.
that is quite curious. Well, do you consider yourself a lucky man?
I do that.
Well, maybe the cure isn't about this.
Oh, great. This is something else.
That'll be another 100 gold.
But I can.
I can sell you some cream. It's just a
He's got like a fungus. And
I can
athlete's foot.
look
right?
into this.
Great.
I will
So-
need some time. I've never seen this before. Maybe it's
Right,
related.
well, that makes two of us.
the ambiguity is making it like I'm just picturing the grossest fucking moss in between his toes.
His foot is a tiny village.
This is a dead village, bitch.
It might help in your discovery.
Great. Well, you know what? I think I'll do what you say, because I'll try to convince my friends, but they are my friends, so I'm sure they will listen and give me all of the money they have.
I cannot stress enough. It is imperative you pay for this service.
I
can promise you,
I'll
it is
tell them
the
you said that.
cheapest you will find in the city.
I trust you entirely.
Good.
I've never met any other priests.
So see you back with your secret.
I might go and try to get the money first soon.
Yes, we can cure you of the pain.
So in case I don't die on the way, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have 200 gold pieces worth of gems. Would those act as...
And can we try? Can I try and haggle with her at all? Like,
If you want. I mean, like, hag is kind of a touchy subject.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Yeah.
can I? What would that be? Can I roll for that?
First, you need to role play with me.
Yes. Well, I was wondering if I
Play in
could
the
see how.
space,
I was
listen,
wondering if I
play in
could
the
see how I do, and then.
No. Start.
And then act out terrible
Okay.
haggle.
Yeah.
Maybe we could pay you more. I got a natural one.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
How good are you at this? Because
Well, I'm just. I was gonna say, as we were walking through, some people did shout at us from their temples as we walked through the temple district. They were like, "Oh, maybe you guys for 50. Oh, for 40." So is that? I'm just gonna try and pressure her with
Lower prices.
Yeah. With cutthroat.
Yeah.
at Harvey
Someone
Norman.
down there offered us 5 fish bowls
Yeah,
and
yeah.
10 Jaeger bombs.
Yeah. Race to the bottom, like.
So you guys match a deal.
Yeah, make a deception check.
Sweet.
I'm enjoying how the
Oh,
lessons
man.
we've learned so far
That's
are that, like,
saying, like,
lies will weigh you down.
fuck's
Oh,
sake.
no?
Oh,
Well, I have 10 deception, but I got a 2, so it's 12.
12 is still good.
That was good.
I was
I
thinking
could
it was
roll.
gonna be
Look,
pretty
you know
good
what?
chance
I'll
of
roll
being
my
great.
new bend luck ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You get an extra 2.
Oh, sweet. Oh, actually, do I always get an extra something else? What's your plus?
She
Tell you what,
She always gets
If
an
the
extra
moment
2.
you know
guys.
what it is,
No, never mind.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, 14 anyway.
14. Well, 50 gold for removing a curse. What are you doing here?
Fine.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No, it's okay.
And
she's
at that
a
moment you
lovely
realize
lady.
that like the temple district is quiet.
Yeah,
You
that's
might
fine.
think
I was,
in the market district those haggling ways will do you well, and
Yeah.
they will.
I
Do
was
try
really
it there.
hoping for the probability, but
Yeah, look, anything's possible.
Look, we didn't.
Not
she didn't,
always
she didn't raise the
probable.
price.
I can give my,
Da-da-da-da-da.
That's like the show.
I have some gold. What we all put in for it?
I have 25 gold, 24 gold.
Speaking of, let's get into this. Remember when you stole from the little Ricky before it sank?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that. Very well.
Remember the contract that said you would get 5,000 platinum?
Yeah.
Yeah, check that pocket. Let me see what's.
Wait, what
I
was
need to
it?
find
What
No
it.
is
way
it?
you have 5,000. No, well, at the very first session, you guys weren't really paying attention.
Okay, yeah.
And he did it on his own. But didn't you go? The ship was sinking, and
No,
you're like,
that's
I'm
a
just
different
gonna.
thing. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
you went
different
into
thing. I
Captain Crooked Stave's private
still have
quarters
that,
and you
yeah.
stole something from his quarters.
Yes.
You're so used to stealing, the sheer amount just doesn't occur to you
It
at the
doesn't-
time.
yeah.
You're like,
I just do it for the thrill.
The jingle jangle of that sounds good. It's like, I'll pocket that. It's probably worth something. You check the loose coins and bulging pouch. Words. You check the bulging pouch you nicked from his chest. You realize it is gleaming with platinum. It would take you quite some time to count it all. You've never seen this much platinum in your life. But, for 10 of the pieces, of which there are loads in this pouch, you have 100 gold.
Then we give 10. Yeah.
10.
I knew they had money.
I thought this was going to be a case of us having this like sack of coins, but then we've got all this worthless paper money. You don't know how much this is. We basically got like €5 in coins and then 500 in paper. It was like, this is just
You've been
useless.
walking
It's already
around
written on
with
paper.
This much platinum,
These. You never asked or checked,
Yeah.
but yeah.
and not a single deck of cards.
Yeah, so none of us. So we're all like just like
Yeah.
scraping coins together. Then Reen just goes like, actually, stunk. I got this.
You
10
guys sunk
coins.
an entire orc pirate ship. You are loaded.
Class. We'll work out how much
we've been like-
off stream.
No, I'll tell you now. You've got 490 platinum left. You basically have 5,000 gold.
Oof.
We've been sleeping in ditches, man.
So I'm just gonna put that in my inventory, and
Super.
I'll just hold that for everyone. Just
I
know
think
we
that
have 500
In
platinum
case
to
any
spend.
of us ever
I
split up
literally-
and are in danger, perhaps we should all have a portion.
You don't, no one else is. You
I
just
literally
dipped into your
slept
pocket.
outside the tavern back when we were
Fine.
at the shore.
He
Well,
didn't
you had
have
a
it
lovely
then.
walk around.
Yeah,
Everyone-
right.
Fine. Everyone gets 100,
100 platinum.
100
Sweet.
platinum. I mean, it
and
wasn't.
I'll get
I don't think that's.
180, 190.
I was like, that's not a fair division, but Huck isn't gonna say that.
I mean, you could just put it in your party funds. It's not
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
Now, bear in mind, flashing this much cash while you're trying to haggle.
Oh, yeah.
In front of a grand.
I
We do
failed,
this
so-
outside.
Please, everyone, take 100 blood. And from me.
No, she's not.
And for you, a pittance.
Just throw it at her. Yeah.
It's a vocation. Exposure. We will
Exposure
pay you
bucks,
in.
yeah.
All the exposure.
What I like is that Huck is entirely affirmed in his baseless belief that everyone would have loads of money. It's exactly as I expected.
What is it? The wish or what was that life affirming thing?
secret?
The secret. Yeah.
It is the exact amount of money of which the contract you found that said if you do these things you will have this exact amount of money, and they
yeah,
were
yeah.
paid,
Wow.
and you took it.
Nice.
So
Oh, I
that's how the game works.
is
There's also 70 silver pieces loose, but when you have that much money,
Yeah.
what are you counting
Yeah.
for?
Let's just.
You can keep that to wipe your arse with.
You could tip her.
Hey, it'll catch the eggs they fall out. Are you still wearing your egg necklace?
I'm not wearing my egg.
Plugging up the
I'd
gap
actually
with
never
silver
declared whether or
pieces.
not I was wearing my X-ray glasses. I could have seen
Who needs a golden egg?
that old lady's underwear.
Everything.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we've been like shining these with the hopes of a golden egg. Like, maybe he'll shit out something worth some money today.
We don't know about the gold.
That's very true. Yeah, we know about some of it, but not all of
We
it.
don't even know about the
Okay.
eggs. Right?
So you pay the 100 gold
Yeah.
for this remove curse.
I see. That was easy.
Yeah.
And she takes a small wooden bowl from one of the shelves that is sort of built into these alder trees, and scoops it into the sort of pool of life that's before her. Where there are two alder wands, she sort of waves it over the water, chants in a language I don't think anyone speaks. You speak Elvish. Just sort of a rhyming couplet of protect this body, protect this man, remove him of anything that may cause him harm. But look, she's a grand cleric.
lost
She's
it.
allowed to get away with a couple of mishaps, and it still
Yeah.
works.
I've forgotten
And
how this particular prayer goes.
I usually leave this to the acolytes, but there's only two of us here for lack of voices of your TM. A drink from this, the pain will not only go away, but you should feel quite spruce.
But not an actual spruce.
was
I know what this place is
I
like.
didn't correct.
We're the Temple of Spruce.
Yeah. A spruce grows out of your head. Okay, and then I drink it.
It is so refreshing.
Ah, great.
You are back to full health.
Oh, sweet.
You are under the protection of the Temple of the Dagda. You are not in any danger of taking that psychic damage anymore.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah, you are still under the Gasa.
Any buffs with that? Is he a little more?
I'm buff.
Yeah, the buff is he's no longer in danger of 5d10 psychic damage.
Yeah,
All right.
5d10 was dangerous. 25 was lucky.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, fine.
You know, or immediately. damaged.
So you got you
exactly.
did.
How do
You
you
did therapy,
feel?
you got an immediate response. You have heard that there's like deep-seated, but you can just ignore that, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
like anything.
Oh, yeah.
Therapy,
Actually,
right?
we could just
Yeah.
fuck this mission. I didn't tell you. She wants us to get a secret from a tree. Yeah, no, we should.
When you say it like that.
Fucking
I think she's happy.
These people.
Oh yeah, when
If
after-
Huck was an entirely different character.
I'd say we've cured him of his friendly disposition.
Turns out that was all the guesser.
like
Fuck you and fuck.
I think as soon as Cobra steps away, I'm like Arlinda's gonna
Yeah, that's
like
okay.
kneel down and clasp a hand on Huck's shoulder and like look him in the eyes. I'm like,
How do you feel, my friend?
I feel great, and you're touching me.
I'm just
Friends.
concerned for you. Oh, well, yes, friends.
I'm gonna stand back up.
Yes, clap him on the shoulder. Friends, Huck, friends.
I'm gonna try to jump and clap him on the shoulder.
Yeah,
I like lower my shoulder considerably.
Jumping.
you do it.
Great.
It happens.
Well,
Yeah.
that's my hip, but I'll take it.
What time of the day is it?
It is early evening, late afternoon. So, like, after getting to Arsenafina in kind of late-ish afternoon, it didn't take you long to walk over here. It didn't take you long to cure this part of it.
No.
You're kind of looking at dinnerish time. The evening is yours.
That's the simplest curse I've ever done.
Before we leave the temple, just real quick, I want to talk to Cobra because I'm just trying to keep saying her name to try and normalize it.
Yes.
Where are you going on your own? That's suspicious.
You just went away on your own.
I'm not trying to be secretive. You may stay if you wish. I wish to speak with these figures of seemingly experts in the Arcana. Having seen your curse curing abilities, I had some further questions, if you wouldn't mind. You are of Elvish descent, yes? If you don't mind my
Yes,
questioning.
yes.
Your people are... I'm not incredibly well informed. How spiritual are
Racist,
you? Your essence, could it be possible for one to inhabit the body of another? I've
A jewel spirit.
perhaps.
And she's like, your questions are scratching, like, the itch of curiosity that exists within this grand cleric.
Can she make an Arcana check?
All right, DM.
I'm just hoping she'll have like a plus 50.
Yeah, she's good. Less Arcana, more Arcana. Less Arcana, more Religion.
No, that makes more sense. Doesn't
So,
Elves are French.
yeah. The elves. Classically French. Man, I should have gone with this French lager. Abbe de Vauclair.
Abbe is literally like an abbot.
We're in
In
the
Italian or
temple district.
Listen, I don't speak French.
Sorry.
I speak Cobra.
it? Should have used this beer, High Priestess Arc Valor. No, we'll go
It
with
I
literally
was-
is a religious character.
Yeah.
I was saving this for the champion of the hunt because I figured you'd meet
yeah.
them more, and it's a hilarious.
Well,
name.
I might die, so you know I was going to the
Yeah, it is a game of die.
yeah. Oh.
You're quite a little bit taller than this woman, and she is kind of gazing deep within your soft, friendly eyes.
I'm shifting quite uncomfortably as she looks at me.
And what makes you say that?
Well, recently we've been outside of our comfort zones as of late, and I've come across some, I dare say, otherworldly or otherrealmly experiences, and I've seen what I would only consider the spirit of an elven man, seemingly trapped in another form. I'm just wondering if that sounds at all like something you might have experienced or read about. As I said, my knowledge is quite limited.
Well, in theory, it's not impossible.
Would it be something you can investigate if you were to interact with the vessel, for lack of a better term?
And this elven man, the features, the appearance. Did you recognize the man?
It was extremely fleeting. I dare say it may happen again, but just thought I'd be...
You could leave it with me. I've some research to be doing for your friend.
It would be very much appreciated if...
I might need to
That's
ask.
private.
There are potentially other temples that might help embodiment. And she's thinking to herself, it sounds like the Temple of Bowen, Chaos. It seems like, or how what beast did this entity seem?
Sort of panicked, clamoring. To be honest, my interpretation was he was trapped. But as I said, it was fleeting. I could have misinterpreted.
You could try the Temple of a breed. That would be growth, fertility, or and for the first time she notices your shield. Well, you carry the symbol of Manon and MacLear on your shield. Temple of Nature. If this is against one's nature, they might know the counterance to your problem. Life moves in mysterious ways, and we tend to deal with the bigger questions. Ourselves and the Morrigan, death. And from there, do you know the Tree of Deities, how it trickles down?
I'm not incredibly familiar. I grew up in an atheist household. My father was a man of science.
Well,
But I would never besmirch anyone for their religious beliefs.
well, let me put it this way. It goes, as I find my notes on the deities, you guys never ask. Actually, it's in my book of secrets, which is in my bag. I have it here.
I mean, I'm happy to leave this as a flashback.
No. I found it.
Oh, nice.
Well, you have the Dagda, life, and the Morrigan, death, at the top. From there you have Bowen, chaos, Avandra, luck, and Ogma, law, and they intersect. And from there you have Jan Kekt, the god of peace, Breed, the god of fertility, Manon and MacLear, the god of nature, Caoil, the god of decay, and Net and Neman, the god and goddess of war. So it's life and death, and law, chaos, and luck, and then peace, fertility, nature, decay, and war, all in a sort of tree of life, if you will. Feeding into one another. They are the 10 gods of Hibernia. You've heard of the 10 higher gods.
I've heard of them, but like I said, I didn't grow up in a household that worshipped or researched them.
Thankfully, they do not require worship to enact their ways on the world. So, in our line of worship life, that is okay. For some, a little bit more dogmatic, Ogma, the god of law, those opinions might be a little looked down upon. But I suggest maybe Manon and MacLear, especially since you seem to carry his shield.
Well, I would have a familiarity with the natural world. I believe that would be a good jumping off point. Thank you. You've been most helpful and gracious.
A trapped elven spirit. It's not unheard of. Or rather, I misspoke. A trapped spirit is unheard of, but the exact opposite. But
I've never heard of it.
a sort of essence or an imbuement of. They used to say the High Kings of Hibernia would sort of carry on one aspect or one sort of element of one another. So if you were High King declared by the Kingstone, you might have a little bit of the
Like a bloodline.
ancestral. Yes.
He loves hiking. Sorry.
Should you hike king to here, and should you hike king to there? So perhaps, and where's the vessel?
Are the others still here?
They don't have to be.
You went off.
Yeah, you went off.
Yeah.
I think we're not.
7 minutes of heaven.
You're lying
Yeah.
on the couch with your head in.
I never knew my father.
Sweet child.
Yeah.
We're playing.
I'm gonna lean in so that I'm kind of speaking a bit more low. It's like,
you seem like a trustworthy person, and it was me.
Well, anything in your past that might make you think you are imbued with an elven spirit, a moment in time, perhaps that.
does she seem?
Are you from Draíocht, curiously? Because you speak like you're from here.
No, this is my first time in Draíocht.
And yet, you speak with such a clear Draíocht accent.
I've never really known that was what it was.
Have you always sounded like this?
No,
I want to discern. Is she looking and talking to me like a concerned person to another person, or kind of like she's curious scientifically?
It looks like she's solving a Rubik's Cube in her head.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
What are they, you say?
A mystical magic box.
And if you solve it, everything's released.
Yeah.
The far realm breaks through.
No, nothing particularly strange. It's just I've always considered it a speech impediment. I've many people from a rural village I was raised in sounded more farmery, and it never really took to me.
Slackjaw is a term you can use. It's
Slackjawed, yes, and as you can see.
Impediment. We are the most well-spoken people of Hibernia.
You can't see it, but under my scarf, my jaw is anything but slack. It's quite firm. But I suppose
How do you say the word FINANCE?
Sorry, spell it one more time.
Finance.
Oh, like the Minister of Finance?
Finance, yes. Very well spoken.
Well, how else would you pronounce finance?
Well, I don't know, but some of the Slacktaws pronounce it.
And she genuinely... Finance. And you guys hear rip roar laughing down
I'm like looking over my shoulder.
He must have a really weird curse.
Well, I've already... I fear I've taken up too much of your time already.
Do you know the Grand Cleric of the Manon and McClure?
I fear I don't know anyone in this town.
Lucky Jack.
Lucky Jack. The grapefruit edition.
Speak to Lucky Jack. He's a little bit sour at first, but you get used to the taste.
Sorry, which one's Lucky Jack?
Lucky Jack is the Grand Cleric of, and good point, I should make note of this, of Manon and McLear's temple, the god of nature. Welcome to the sermon. It's Hibernia, the religious episode. Let me write it down here. Whoop. Lucky
It's
Jack.
mass every time.
Lucky Jack.
All the time.
Lucky Jack.
Cool.
Where's a fighting pit when you need it, am I right?
Yeah, should we just start a fight with one
Arlington
of these?
attacks the priest.
I throw the first punch initially.
She's cured me, so, you know.
To
Blam.
full health.
Yeah.
What a fool. Drown her in the river. Life, you say.
Life this.
The acolyte from the sidelines. Kill her!
There's only two of us. It's ascension. I want those.
The
herbs.
quickening!
And back to normal.
Yes, I will be sure to inquire at that temple. Thank you. You've been most helpful. If there's ever anything I can assist you or your temple with, please consider me in your debt.
Exposure would be great. Or 100 gold. We like being paid.
Exposure would be fine.
Well, spread the word of the Dagda, of course. But to be honest, merely being out there and seizing each day.
I'll probably just tell people.
Okay.
Not a big day Caesar, sort of a pragmatic person. But thank you. You've been most helpful. Thank you so much.
I like the sound of Night Caesar, though.
Ooh, that would be a good beer name.
Yeah.
Night Caesar.
I mean, Day
It
Caesar.
just sounds like Evil Julius.
But at
Caesar,
night.
after dark.
Sire, please, the Romans need assistance. Not now, I'm Knight Caesar.
I mean, Night Caesar would be great because his sidekick would be Brutus. Who would eventually betray him. We already know the whole.
God, this guy's
It
so
would
annoying.
be
I'm going
Moontus.
to kill him.
Yeah.
So I bid my thank yous and leave the temple.
Farewell.
Does she like wave goodbye in any kind of like religious-y sort of sign of the cross kind of way? I want to, if she does anything of religious nature, I want
Dagda
to.
definitely has a symbol.
If she makes any
brain.
gesture or symbol, I'll do it back respectfully.
She spells blood with her hands.
I mean, yeah.
No, she
I
doesn't.
pull up my sleeve to reveal the purple handkerchief I have on my shoulder.
Oh, nice.
No, she waves like a normal person. Religion in Hibernia is just a matter of...
The Queen, at least. Come on.
the sticks, clear it out. Yeah, you guys all exit back into the sort of temple district, the Alderglade of Draíocht. The night...
It's dark now, right?
Well, no, like, that didn't take too long.
The reign of the Knight Caesar begins.
So you have a curse too.
Well, I sort of just want. Yes.
You know, it doesn't matter. You wanted to go
Well, but
to the Temple of
maybe
Death.
maybe tomorrow might be better. A Temple of Death.
A Temple of
night.
Death at nighttime
It's,
sounds
uh,
a little bit.
It's a brunch time affair, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on blank pages for hours. Any more lore, I might need to look it
I
up.
need to go and
Yeah,
reintroduce
maybe
myself.
we could go back to
old
the champion of the
Yeah.
hunt.
Yeah.
Should we go look for a fighting bit? I feel like that's probably prepared for.
Yeah.
I
Back in
promise
our
we'll
day.
start the next episode
Yeah.
in the fighting
Is there a
pit.
fighting pit
Because he
called
keeps
Our
saying
Real
him like I
House?
feel like
Sure,
he's got
the
a sheet
theatre.
ready for fighting fit.
I always have a sheet ready for fighting
What I
pits.
didn't tell you about the Fianna headquarters is it's a giant fighting. Surprising we didn't get stabbed as we walked in.
So yeah, we head back to Oris on Fianna.
Yeah, you make your
I
way.
need to, like,
We'll head back to our hostel for the night.
Yeah. Introduce myself.
All our
you know.
stuff is stolen.
Any socializing events going on? Like,
there's
I can we
bards,
score some travelers?
There's some really loud Swedish guys playing rave music from their
Fellow
phones.
travelers.
Interesting enough, you can always find live music in Draíocht. It is a Iggy, I have a question for you as a player.
Ooh.
Your class is a bard. Do you think that's something you've just sort of naturally fallen into, or are you aware that there are other bards and other sort of, you know, like that
She
someone
thinks
might
she's
go
the,
to school for
does
this
Iggy think
versus
she's
like
the first of her, like...
No, well, Iggy discovered what, like, her type of being a bard is in, like, the way that she can draw things and it has an effect on people through, like, very specific things that happen in her village. That, like,
Right.
so yeah, I'm aware of my type of that as being, yeah, maybe
sort of
kind of
unique
specific.
that you'd be like, people don't go to school for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
I don't really know yet. No.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. You're like, you know that there's like sort of open mic things.
I didn't choose to be it. Yeah, it was discovered. Like,
I'm just naturally talented.
Open mic.
Hey, you
drawing
can't
session.
teach art,
Art
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but you do notice that there are like there's performances, there's been street performers, there's been people kind of busking around the street.
That would definitely make me like really like fill me with joy to see other people doing what I think like seeing people doing something and it having this magical effect. I'd be like because I do know half elf. I do know like
You know half of the elven.
I'm
custom.
elfy. Yeah.
You know at least half of what's going on.
Fierce
I think you should sign up for an open mic thing and like secret millionaire this thing.
Open mic's notoriously great for what, like cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, it works.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
your visuary stuff takes form. It'd be like having a screening for your debut movie.
Yeah. It's animation.
Frame by frame.
And everyone does that in open mic.
Yeah.
Here's my short film.
That would explain why I'm never
I get
invited
5
back
minutes.
to open mic nights.
And at film festivals, stand-up comedy doesn't do great as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Especially when the film's on. You have really great jokes and they're not giving you anything.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Like, isn't this an open mic? Yeah.
You're just a joke cracking silhouette in front of some angry people.
Yeah.
They don't find laser pointers funny. Who are these people?
As you guys make your way back up an alder tree and then across the river towards Arst and Fianna, you notice that a couple of sort of well-dressed elven guards approach. And they come to you and go, sorry to bother you, citizens. And they're sort of side-eyeing Arlington a little bit.
Oh, God.
I'm
sort of-
shifting my gaze.
Is this the fighting pit?
the fighting pit is
It's come to
above
us!
the river. No, it's. I wonder if we mightn't ask you some questions, if that's okay.
Of course, no problem at all.
Questions are always fine.
Great. If you wouldn't mind just stepping into we'll continue with the bridge, cross the bridge with you, and then maybe step into the building beside us. Is that okay?
What building?
What
Why would we
building?
need...
Is something happening?
Why can't we just talk here?
Are we being detained? That's what we're supposed to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the internet.
I'm slowly putting my phone on record in my front pocket.
Yeah.
No, it's just that. Well, you might like to take a seat as opposed to stand on top of a bridge.
I
and-
think we're all right.
We're okay.
Yeah,
It's
I
good to
don't
stretch our
mind.
legs.
I've been sitting all day. I need to stretch these old. My dogs are not barking. My dogs are sleepy.
And your legs.
You have dogs?
I love dogs.
You know what they say, let sleeping dogs lie down on a chair and perhaps we can make you a little
Good
bit
point. Let's go to the building.
What is this?
we can
What's
perch
the
somewhere.
meaning of this, if you wouldn't mind me asking?
There has been some reports, and at this point they're kind of walking with you.
Walking's fine.
Walking doesn't sound like initiative. They're walking with you, and they go, well, just you sort of match a description of which we've heard, and we just wouldn't mind asking you a couple of questions if that's okay.
Questions? Yep, I've got no problem with questions.
Absolutely, we can discuss
We're an
things.
open book. I'm trying to maybe like stand in such a way that the name of our thing is not.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Yeah, in hindsight,
You're
that's
like
what
Post
the
Malone.
description-
It's across your entire face, guys.
What are
The most handsome man in the world, because then you have found me.
have
He's right
fun.
here.
He's been trying to keep a low profile, but
I wasn't.
How well armed are these guards?
They have a mix of weapons. All of them seem to have one weapon by their side, and sort of half shield.
Truncheon?
There's a house that they're trying to bring us into.
You mean a
is there?
truncheon?
Truncheon.
Is there anywhere like
Truncheon
kind of
and
quiet?
Is their name?
Like, are we totally out in the open, or are
You are out of the open, and they're kind of bringing you down. Now that you're on the other side on Ashford, they're bringing you down through Ashford towards a sort of set of barracks. It's like, well, just our barracks are here if you didn't mind.
I'm not walking into any.
No,
buildings.
is there any like side streets we could kind of just walk into instead and like chat?
I'll stand outside the building. I ain't going in no building.
Yeah, what? Outside is as good as in. Although it's very suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, out of character. It's very suspicious for us not to want to go with the guards.
But sure, all the buildings are both outside and in. They're all trees.
Yeah.
No
I've got
difference.
no problem. Sure, I'll come in with the barracks and answer a few questions.
Sure, and I mean, if the rest of you want to stay out here, that's fine. But with us, we can just ask some questions of your one friend.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'm happy to do
I
that.
trust him.
Sure.
No,
Okay.
Let's play
I'll,
jacks.
I'll, no, I
Or
Oh,
maybe
but
I-
you can stay outside if you
I
want.
think
no, I
probably
think
would
I think
go
it would be
in.
best if the two of you stay outside and I'll accompany Rian inside.
Perfect.
You notice that the barracks is sort of built. It has a similar stone foundation to Ars Nafina.
Okay.
And then continues up in trees, and it's almost like the trees are cracking through. And they bring you through, and they wave to one of the guards and go, "We're just going to bring them into the
I'm
room."
gonna wave awkwardly.
And you open the door, and they lead you through. And in that room, you see 12 other guards, and they close the door behind you.
They
there's
could
no-
be
And
Hop
you
House
see
13's
their
other
hands
guards.
reached for their hilts, almost like the snarl of a tiger pulling back its lip. And that is where we will end today's episode.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I kind of figured something like this might happen. I was
Well,
like, okay, at
we're
least the
fine.
melee guys.
You're outside. You just twiddle your thumbs.
They can die. That's
They are dead weight. Those
Yeah.
two fighters.
So there's
dead weight.
14 guards and you.
Are these Hop House 13's?
Oh, wow.
All of Hop House 13's brothers.
Making fun of my brother, will you?
We heard you made fun of him.
Can we see anything from like?
No.
So we just saw that they were walking in. Like, if we were to like, walk, there's no windows that we can be like spying on.
No. Not that you immediately know.
only
Although
you were-
that's a
if
good
only you were
question.
both-
That's what I was going to
Packed
say that
full
when
of
we were.
magical abilities.
As in-
Yeah, yeah. If only there was some sort of message you could get to us.
You're the one who didn't want to go in.
If there was
Why did
anywhere
you
like
go in?
side windows, that's
Because I
where I
didn't
was
want him
going to
to go in
say
by
we'd be.
himself.
Because we'd be wanting. We're
I
suspicious
figure
as
we
well.
could get our way out of this.
Yeah.
In fairness, in hindsight,
yeah.
the rogue could manage to evaporate out of there. But my thinking at the time was like 2 ranged squishy people stay outside, 2 people who have like melee abilities to go inside, and then maybe we can figure something out from there. But in hindsight, not so great.
You forgot doors exist.
Yeah, doors was a big, they're a
These are
renowned
transparent
enemy in
doors.
D&D as well. But it's great. At the start of the
tell.
episode, I'm going to drop my cloak and reveal that I'm actually Hop Houses 1 through 12 stacked on top of each other. Yeah, and then one of them's going to play out the
It's
Dragon's
Hop
Roar thing, and then
Houses.
13 crashes through the window, and then we'll have ourselves.
Then
an
you'll
elf.
have exactly even numbers. 14
That'd
v
be
14.
perfect,
14 was the magic number.
But only one X between all of them.
Yeah. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. I don't know the exact date, but calendars exist. So, yeah.
So do some fucking work.
No, I'll look it up now. It is the 4th today, the 18th of February.
Correct.
So have yourselves a merry little Hallmark day on the 14th. Have yourselves a lovely
yeah.
15th. The true Valentine's Day.
And enjoy
when
all the days in
restaurants
between.
aren't busy.
Except it's a Saturday, so they
Yeah.
are.
Damn it, Cupid's got us again. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. We'll pick up exactly there. Arlington, it will be your recap. So,
Oh yeah, I lucked out of it this week.
Yeah, we'll drag you back in. Until then, look after yourselves. Get in touch with the show if you have any questions, if you want to talk to us at all, at homebrewquest or rollforhomebrew@gmail.com, and be sound.
Yeah.